A few months later. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh no, babes. Oh. It's like a play gone wrong. Murder live on stage. That was Olivia! Who is... Oh, that's right. She's an actress. She accidentally killed somebody. Oh my god, Olivia. Oh, I don't know if we knew the dude who died. Yeesh. Oh god, Killian! Why do you have to be the first person I talk to? Oh. Hello! This place seems to be thriving. Evening, Killian. Thirsty? No, thank you, bartender. Tonight I must return home without even a hint of alcohol in my breath. She must not know I was here. Oh, your mama? My mother, of course. Who else? Well, feel free to stay as long as you like. Much appreciated. Tempting as it may be, after recent events, I doubt my punishment will be reduced if Mother finds out I also frequent an illegal speakeasy. Now, should I follow? Oh. Killian theatrically pulls out a newspaper from his coat and tosses it on the table with exaggerated flair. The headline faces you. Murder at the Opera. Okay, I don't think we recognize this guy. A leading man stabbed by co-star. Famous opera singer and radio host Olivia Carmine was witnessed stabbing fellow performer Stavros Stone. Ooh. Yeah, we don't know Stavros, but we know Olivia. She's been involved in the previous 2 cases. Dalliance, a tragic story of love and betrayal by famous writer Gail De Winter and directed by industry veteran Lawrence Sullivan the Fourth. Oh god, yeah, I know numbers, even in letter form. Features a scene where Penelope, played by Olivia Carmine, stabs her lover Hercules Stavros Stone with a dagger. Whether this was an intentional attack or an unfortunate accident with a malfunctioning prop, police are still investigating who is responsible for this tragic event. Olivia's probably gonna be on the suspect list. I don't think it was her. I mean, obviously, we saw in the previous case where even though, you know, it may be someone we're familiar with, they could still end up being a murderer, but I like Olivia. She definitely doesn't seem like the type. And even though she is an actress, and I will thoroughly admit she could have been faking, like her reaction to seeing like the blood on her hands and seeing what she did, that was legit terror. An attendee was spotted rushing towards the collapsed actor and attempting to help, but he seemed to fumble his attempts at resuscitation and was quickly pulled away by a staff member. Ooh! I wonder... Maybe this is just me getting a little bit too tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but I wonder if that attendee is perhaps involved, and if they ran up there seeming like they wanted to help, but instead they made things worse on purpose, maybe to make sure the guy died. I don't know. I got some questions. Well then, genuine medical staff arrived at the scene too late to help, and Stavros Stone was pronounced dead at the hospital, with cause of death recorded as severe blood loss. Reporters have attempted to reach out to Olivia Carmine for comment. So far, she has not made a public statement, and all communication is being handled by her lawyer and public agent. Wow, indeed. Exactly, though the newspaper article doesn't quite capture the sheer chaos and spectacle of it all. You were there? Yes, I was there to see Olivia. Fortunately, as the son of a doctor, I can stomach the sight of a little blood. Who do you think the brave individual rushing to aid the victim was? Oh my god, Killian, I just talked so much shit about this attendee. You dum-dum. Just because your mom is a doctor doesn't mean you know shit about life-saving medical treatment. You fucking dummy. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. Also, side note, it does seem like we are playing as the same bartender we were in the previous case. Because in the very first case, we got betrayed by the detective and arrested. And so, you know, with all our relationships, we were starting from scratch. Here, we are not. Saving some progress. I like that. Good to know my efforts in maintaining people's affections and boosting all that have not gone to waste. You didn't finish medical school, did you? I'll be nice. At least you tried. Good Samaritan and all that. It's nice to see someone recognizes my good nature for once. The backstage person who pulled me away simply called me an idiot. I guess it mattered not. Stavros was dead in moments anyway. Killian avoids your gaze guiltily. You both know he made a bad situation worse, but it was probably a lost cause anyway. So why are you in hiding? How do you think my mother would react if her son was making a fool of himself in front of hundreds of people? Fortunately, I could escape through the backstage exit. Reese led me out and saved my blushes. Reese? Okay, I need to write me some names down. I got my notebook, and again, I know we have our in-game notebook here that keeps track of characters, clues, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But writing things down does help cement things into my brain, especially as we are continuing to get into the speakeasy bartender mindset with some alcoholic beverages. Cheers! You drink responsibly. I feel like now knowing that it was Killian who attempted to help, it was probably just more he kind of bungled it rather than maliciously, you know, making the situation worse. I know I will have to face her eventually, but that's a problem I'd like to postpone as long as possible. These accents just keep getting worse and worse, especially the more that I drink. That sounds rough. That's rough, buddy. Pat, pat, pat. Honestly, I regret attending that damn opera. Oh yeah, is that the opera that Olivia was like, oh, you know, it'll be great. Too bad you can't afford it. Talking to me, the bartender, like, God, fucking... Having both leads die in the story is nothing but a pretentious attempt to pull some emotional string. Seriously, who wrote this garbage? It says here, Gale de Winter. Whatever. The only good thing that possibly came out of this is that I may have found you a new customer, bartender. A fellow or person? The stagehand that stopped me, we had a little chat after questioning. Turns out they are the prop master. I told them they looked like they could use a drink and pointed them to this place. Their name is Reese. They? Not he or she? Even corrects himself, the fellow or person. Do we have, perchance, non-binary representation? In this game that takes place in the 20s. The 1920s. You know, that's pretty dope. I look forward to meeting them. My pleasure. Now then, I think it's time I went back home. I have a terrifying woman to face. May the goddess watch over you tonight. Well then. Oh, Hugo. Oh, my guy. Hugo Mertens descends the stairs of the speakeasy and sits down at the bar with a level of confidence and comfort you haven't seen in him before. It has been quite some time since his last visit. You weren't sure if he would ever come back. I mean, this place is illegal, but at least he didn't drag me out of here in handcuffs. Like, good evening, detective. Evening. I see this place is still up and running. Very good indeed. Oh? Things have been rather quiet at the station ever since we foiled Wendy Brooker's scheme. I mean, I don't know if we foiled it. She still killed somebody, but, you know. You caught her, at least. It was quite pleasant, actually. Unfortunately, it seems that situation has now changed. I take it you're aware of the situation with Olivia Carmine and the events that unfolded at the Maverick Opera House? All the headlines seem to be covering it. I thought so. Is Hugo smiling? It doesn't suit him. He seems quite satisfied with himself. My initial investigation has already confirmed that several important people related to the case have been made aware of your establishment. Oh god, my dude. Why don't you do your damn job for once instead of making me do all the work? Look. Great, what do you need me to do? Right, about that. While circumstances are definitely chaotic, I have plenty of material to work with for once. I have a list of employees, direct access to the murder weapon, and over 100 witnesses to call upon. What I'm trying to say is you're on the bench. It's time to leave the investigations to the professionals. You do your job and I'll do mine. What the fuck are you here? I'm sure the case is safest in your hands, sure. Why, thank you. Your faith in me is appreciated. Nevertheless, if this bar isn't useful to me, I'm not sure I can guarantee its continued existence long term. Bro, we know what happened last time. I admit your insights proved helpful last time. We did apprehend the culprit together. Together is a strong word. I'm sure you'll find other ways to convince me that the nightcap should stay open, so for now, I have no plans to close it down, but I can't speak for the rest of the constabulary. I'm still probably pronouncing that very wrong. My pronunciation changes literally every single case, and depending how deep I am into my drink. That's not reassuring. It's not my job to reassure you, bartender. It's my job to catch criminals, so that's exactly what I'll do. Now, it is only a matter of time before my suspects come to visit this speakeasy. I will be eagerly awaiting their arrival, so I may question them further. All I ask is that you keep this place open and stay out of my way. I will tell you if I need anything more from you. You may yet prove useful to me after all, just not as an investigator. Uh-huh. We'll see about that. I understand. Wonderful. Now, with that taken care of, I'll be off to do some preliminary paperwork. I wish you a pleasant evening, and we'll see you on Thursday. Good luck, detective. Or I could... Bye, Hugo. A little more informal there. Okay, so we have Vincent here, and we have the gays. It's months later. God, I hope they're together now. It looks like we still have everybody here from before. Oh god, Wendy. I mean, she's in prison, so I don't imagine we'll be seeing her again. Yeah, we got the new clue from Killian, that's right. Killian says Alliance is a stupid, pretentious play where both leads die a horrible death. To quote him, who wrote this garbage? Broski's not a fan of the arts, apparently. Alright, well, let's go chat with Vincent. Hey, Vincent sits down on the stool. His usual jovial attitude has been displaced, but God, words are hard today. Let's try that again from the top. Vincent sits down on the stool. His usual jovial attitude has been displaced by suspicion, and he gives you a knowing look. Oh, is it because Hugo was in here? I notice Officer Blue Eyes is frequenting our little haven again. Is everything between the three of us still... you know. Hugo told me to sit this one out. Bah! First he threatens us to get our help, and now he wants to go solo? It doesn't surprise me one bit that the country is in shambles when we have such fickle figures in charge of our security. Well, I suppose he wants another promotion. I take it his investigation regards Miss Carmine's accident on stage. The very same. Wonderful. The great Detective Mertens is in charge of investigating a simple case of negligence, and to think his wage is funded entirely by the Sovereign taxpayer. That's some serious negligence. Yeah, this is is this going to be kind of similar to the Alec Baldwin thing, where we may be like, even if it was an accident, we got to kind of retrace our steps to figure out who is responsible for it. We had a case like that literally on a movie set in another mystery game we did called Unheard. That was a very fun game. I like that, where you use audio cues to solve mysteries. Very fun. That's up on the YouTube channel right now, in fact. Anyway, that's some serious negligence. Look here, the Carmine family has a long and storied history, producing some of the finest members of society in Bukovi. A single conversation with Olivia would convince anyone she is innocent. I mean, okay, I was saying she's responsible for the negligence. She's not the prop girl. The expression of horror on her face, that poor girl. I feel some sympathy. Yes, I think it's important we show her compassion in every meeting we have with her until she can process this immense trauma. God, yeah, I can't imagine that. She literally killed somebody, even if by accident. You know, I imagine, if I had to guess right off the bat, obviously we're still pretty early on, it's some situation where there was like a prop dagger and a real dagger, and somehow they got like swapped up. That's my guess. Let's hope Detective Mertens can quickly throw whoever was responsible for the mix-up into prison. Then Miss Carmine can grace our little speakeasy with her presence again. Let's hope so indeed. The comeback is always greater than the setback. Words to live by. Now that we have that out of the way, how about we discuss some lighter topics this evening? Great idea. Let's have a chat. I'm feeling very talkative tonight. You want a drink, Vincent? Ooh, do we have different... Can I tempt you, Vincent? Yes, indeed. Make it something classic. Yes, yes. Oh, we have new things, but not his usual. Oh, we have some returning things. We have the Femme Fatale. Cold Winter is back. That was Peter's favorite. I do remember. I do like that they kind of mix up the menus in between cases. You know, makes it much less tedious, you know, doing the same drinks all of the time. So then, ooh, hold up. What sort of drinks do you like, Vincent? My old favorite is no longer available, of course. I haven't managed to find a supplier that stocks a decent rid since our old one had their run-in with the law. I did develop a fondness for olives recently. I trust you can mix up something wondrous with that. Okay. Olives, then. I'm not into olives personally. It feels like literally every time I play this game, I'm like, oh, I'm not into that. Oh, I'm not into that. Okay, we have an olive in the Femme Fatale. He also likes things kind of juicy. So I'm torn between the Femme Fatale or the Dry War. If I had to guess, based on his previous favorite, which was the Eastern Ruby, I would guess the Femme Fatale, which was also Maria's favorite. I don't know if she's involved in this case. Sometimes we have some returning characters, sometimes we don't. Let's see here. How does he feel about this one? I'm seeing some signs of improvement. You know, I'm a big fan of orange. If you have any recipes up your sleeves with citrus, I'm all for it. You just said olives. You just said olives. Oh, my guy. Okay. Why didn't you tell me that before? Okay. Let's see. Ooh, I think Bjorn and Lucas are getting close. Yes, indeed. Lucas is a fine young gentleman. He's from a good family, and he is a positive member of the community. He once arranged a bank loan for Amelia's bakery when they were on the edge of bankruptcy. I don't think I could survive without her lemon drizzle. And of course, it's not just about my sweet tooth. That's a fine, decent thing he did to support a small business in the city. And Bjorn, well, the good thing about me, as you know, is I don't judge people based on their background. What do you mean, their background? So Scotia may be a rugged and inhospitable country, but that doesn't mean the people are inhospitable, though he certainly is intimidating. And rugged. Have you seen the size of those arms? Oh, indeed I have. I think Lucas has too. Lucas really does deserve the best, and Bjorn is certainly from a different social class. Regardless, I hope he is a hearty but kind man. That's what I can gather from seeing him around town anyway. I wonder, do you agree with my assessment? I think Bjorn is a good man. Yes, good, very good. I am fond of Lucas. I'm glad you approve of Bjorn. I love me some gays. Seeing them together, it is like a bird with a bear. A funny sight, but a heartwarming one, I feel. And they got close here at the speakeasy. What a little haven we have created together. I just hope Bjorn is able to adapt to Lucas's higher position in society. Let's see what else. Who are our best customers? You mean in terms of contributing to our income or ambiance? You know what? Vincent's kind of wealthy. I'm gonna go with ambiance. Well, if you cutted me as a customer and if I paid for my drinks, I would be a strong contender in both categories. But I have to say Olivia Carmine is the real frontrunner in both races. Though she jokes about free drinks, she always settles her tab, and her constitution is formidable. Mine clearly is not. She can not only drink all night, but she lights up a room with her conversation too. Her fame lends out establishment glamour. I don't know if that was meant to be our establishment glamour. There are a couple typos here and there. That's okay, it's fine. Totally doesn't bother me at all. I'm confident people come just to see her. It is sad, therefore, that she is experiencing such scandal right now. Let us hope all this negative attention due to the accident of the Maverick blows over soon. Olivia's your choice, then. As a customer, she is beyond compare. But are you asking me something else? Yes? What exactly? Are you perchance asking who my favorite guest is? Yes? The guest whose presence sets my heart aflutter? The guest who I hope to see every time I come down those stairs? The guest who above all others brightens my day? Yes! Have a guess. I'll give you a clue. It is not Olivia. I wonder how well you know me now. Who do you feel I most want to see in our little secret haven? Who is the person I have the most respect and admiration for? Ooh. You know, if I had to guess, I would say Maria, because she's a bookworm and he runs a bookshop. Ah, yes, until you said that name I was not sure, but yes, indeed. I do not know the young Miss Papa well, but I am both saddened for her loss and somewhat protective of her. She is, as you might say, my favorite. Thanks for sharing. Ah. Are you happy with the bar? Certainly, I mean, there is always room for improvement, but on the whole, I think we are doing a splendid job together. I wonder, though, do you have any ideas for making this place more welcoming, more exciting? I feel it is missing something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Like what? I don't quite know. Please throw out some suggestions. I will not be judgmental. Just off the top of your head, there are no wrong answers. Oh, well, how about music? I think that would be nice. That was literally the first thing that came to my mind. I was going to say live music. I was going to say, you know, like a radio or something. I think not. Our gramophone is perfectly sufficient. We shall not have raucous live performances. This is a place of witty conversation, not dancing and gyrations. We have a gramophone somewhere. Ooh. Save scum. Save scum. Let's see. We could serve some bar snacks. Perhaps. I do not think we should confuse our customers as to the purpose of this menu by cooking ourselves, though, but we could partner with a local business. Unofficially, of course. If we were to have a complimentary selection of treacle tarts, shoe buns, or even a jar of pickled eggs, I shall think on it. Well, I suppose I encourage you to share openly, so I thank you for your input. I shall ponder on this and take your ideas into account. Hell yeah. I expect at least 10% of all revenue. All right, Vincent. Let's see. Have you ever left Sara? Why in the world would I leave the greatest city civilization has ever built? I see your point, I guess. I'm glad we agree. It's a wonderful place, the Pinnacle. Although, I confess the city has gone downhill of late. Ooh, we're really going up with that affection. These blasted politicians seem dead set on plunging us into another war. Rusalka, Albion, Anglia, and Sangha are the worst with their aggressive foreign policy. Sara itself has done much to stoke the flames of conflict. Let me be clear, my friend, I do not blame the people from these countries. The Anglians, sure, are a jovial bunch. I once spent a night drinking with Rusalkan woodsmen that I will never forget. No, they are fine people everywhere, I suppose. That's what Flora would say anyway. My late wife wanted to travel more until the illness took her. Upon retirement, we had planned to alight on a grand odyssey and explore Rusalka, Albion, Vinland, even the colonies. Alas, fate had other plans, and now I run a bookstore which hides a speakeasy beneath, and all my traveling happens in the books I read. They can take me anywhere, bartender. Do I not have a name? I guess not. Which is grand, because some days I feel like I need an escape, and I'm too old, too tired to leave this country on my own. So books it is! Okay. You have one more action left. Not really any clues. Can we ask him about this? Does it really come as a surprise to you that the boy is a shameless Philistine? Gillian Durand is practically the poster child for saying that money can't buy taste. He wouldn't know good art if it hit him in the face. I don't think I can argue with that. It's getting late, I'll be back. It's getting late, I'll be back, but if I don't return tonight, don't forget to lock up. Well, hello, gays. These two didn't have anything really to do with the case last time. I don't know if that'll change this time around. Lucas. Hey, buddy. Oh, it seems my old favorite is no longer on the menu. Ah, well, I trust you'll find something else I can appreciate. Business still seems to be going well for you. Good to see. The bank is dreadfully dull, so do you have any interesting topics to cheer me up? What sort of drinks do you like? Well, I have quite a fondness for coffee, as you might be aware. Perhaps you could make me something with it? Can do, broski. Let's see what we can do for you. I would very much like a drink, yes. Okay, we have a few options. Or, maybe... Actually, maybe just one option? Because this one has coffee liqueur. I don't know if that necessarily counts as the same thing. But he would probably want a cold winter. Just like our boy Peter. Where is he? I want Peter to come back. Please tell me Peter returns in this case. I'm gonna be very, very sad if he doesn't. Peter's gonna be so happy. Anyway, one thing at a time, Lucas. Oh, that's just perfect, thanks. Alright. What about you and Bjorn? With Bjorn, things are good. With my friends, less so. Oh my god, are your friends being judgy of your love interest? I will throw hands. Just point me in a direction. I will fuck them up. Anyway, what happened? That damn windbag Fizzy Calhoun ruined everything. Bjorn and I had a first fight because of her. That bitch, I will ruin her. I will destroy her. How dare she? What did she do? She wanted to meet this new fellow I was so smitten with. She organized one of her legendary dinner parties and told us to come dressed in our Sunday best. Oh, was she disappointed by Bjorn? When I told Bjorn, he got very worried about what clothes he should wear. I told him they didn't really care, and he should just wear something smart. I was supposed to meet him on the boulevard, but I was running late. He thought I was already there, so he rushed to get there on time. He arrived at Fizzy's front door sweating, wearing the plaid shirt he had bought from Timson's that morning. A charming shirt, but not quite right for the event. Oh no. So when he was greeted at the gatehouse, his clothing, demeanor, and general dishevelment meant he was mistaken by Fizzy's housekeeper as a new gardener. How did that happen? Well, the gardeners wear similar red plaid shirts. I see how the mistake happened. But the problem is how Fizzy reacted. When Bjorn was God, what a name, Fizzy. When Bjorn was instructed to go to the greenhouse and await instructions, the poor fellow was so confused, he simply did as he was told. He must have been embarrassed. When I arrived, I was furious. I saw Bjorn standing out by the greenhouse in the rain while Fizzy and a damn fool cousins were sipping champagne and giggling at him. Perhaps you know me well enough by now to realize I do not lose my temper often. But this time, I called her a crooked witch, and I went outside in the rain, grabbed Bjorn by the arm, and told him he was too good for these people and we should head home. You said you argued with Bjorn? We did indeed argue when we got home. Home? Home as in shared home? He was mad at you? Yes, but not for the reasons you might expect. Bjorn said Fizzy and her friends were just having some fun and he didn't mind. Worse, he then chastised himself for being naive and dressing incorrectly. I see. I got mad and said those people were not real friends if they treated him like that. But Bjorn told me my friends were important and he had to learn how to integrate into their world so he doesn't embarrass me. Did you figure things out? Somewhat. I apologized, then he apologized. I'm not sure what I'm even sorry for, and I don't think he is either. Bartender, did I get this situation all wrong? I have to ask you for your opinion. On what? Tell me, did I handle the situation badly? Is Bjorn right that I must help him fit in with my friends, or am I right? They aren't real friends if they treat Bjorn poorly. Well, let's see. Bjorn wants to fit in, so help him. Help him connect with your friends, but maybe not Fizzy. Friends come and go, but Bjorn is more than a friend to you. Yes, I agree. That's right, isn't it? But if I lose friends, he will worry about me. It's so complicated. Why you gotta go and make things so complicated? Just talk to Bjorn. It's like I told you last time. Communication is key. Yes, I suppose you're right. Business still seems to be going well for you, blah, 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 blah. How's life treating you lately? I must say, things are quite pleasant. My work is fulfilling, and the company I keep has been delightful for the most part. It's not all roses and sunshine, though. Afraid to say things aren't going too well for my dear cat Martha. Oh no, we have our own kitty back at the shitty apartment we apparently stay at. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I didn't mean to make it sound so dire. Her paw has a nasty splinter from scratching something in the yard and it became infected. Naturally, I took her to the vet who fixed her up in no time. She's doing much better already, but for the time being she's not allowed outside. I see. I can't help but notice you occasionally have some orange hair stuck to your shirt. Do you own a cat as well by any chance? Oh, we can name our cat Ginger Ale. Has been a great companion for many years now. There's no sweeter cat than my little croissant. I consider Tequila my best friend. I say I keep whiskey at home. I actually mean my cat. Okay, so it's an orange cat. One brain cell, little wonder. There's no sweeter cat than my little croissant. One orange brain cell! Oh, I knew I could recognize a fellow cat lover. They're marvelous, graceful, independent creatures, aren't they? Cats are a constant delight. Say, I was wondering, is your cat allowed outside or do you keep them strictly indoors? Well, okay, I'm gonna be so for real. I don't like the idea of letting cats wander around outside. That's really bad for them, and I don't like it, but he says he lets his cat outside, and I would like to have good affection with these people, so I'll stay outside. I see. Cats are roaming predators, and I believe letting them indulge in that natural behavior must be good for their health as well. This has been really fun to discuss. Perhaps next time we should exchange photographs. We're gonna exchange cat pictures. Oh, Lucas is my new gay bestie. We should. Oh, do you enjoy the opera? Not as much as you might think. A lot of my colleagues in the bank think it's wonderful, and I listen to them go on and on about it. But when I try to share my interests, they are a bit judgmental, sniffy. Your coffee interests? No, my cultural interests include adventure novels, radio plays, even comic books. But that marks me out as a bit different, so I don't share my interests at work anymore. Oh, bro's got no good friends anywhere. It's the same with music. I like the orchestra, but I'm also partial to a jazz club. And when it comes to literature, what really is the difference between literary and speculative? Is a sad tale of a middle-aged man on the downward slope of a failing marriage, losing his libido and reconciling with his drunk father truly more worthy than some tale of escapist adventure? Whew, what kind of adventure? Oh, I don't know, a tale of pirates and peril on the high seas, a dark castle on a windy moor where the lord of the manor becomes a wolf during the full moon, a tentacled eldritch terror emerging from the floors of the ocean to terrorize a small fishing town. I think it all depends on what you're in the mood for. I don't particularly have a favorite genre of book, personally. It just really kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for, you know? Sounds thrilling. Indeed, the literary world can be very snobby. Oh boy, yeah. What's wrong with having a little fun? Why must miserable reality be better for our soul than escapist fantasy? A writer friend once told me never be afraid to write something people might actually enjoy. Good advice. Well, got one action left. Again, I don't know if he has anything to do with this case, but we might as well ask about the murder at the opera, see if he knows anything. My, young Mr. Durand has a way with words, doesn't he? I wouldn't call myself a fan of the performing arts either, but I've read glowing reviews of Deliance in the papers. I suppose it just wasn't for him. I mean, can't please everybody, yeah. For someone who doesn't like drama, he certainly gets involved in a lot of it. That's a big, very important lesson that I have learned, and I think a lot of people need to learn, just because you don't like something does not make it objectively bad. There are some things you don't like, and it can also be bad, but just because you don't like it doesn't then make it bad. That's your PSA of the day. Thank you very much. Tip you bartenders. Yeah, well, I've really lost track of time. I need to get to bed. Thanks for the drinks. Yeah. Just leaving your mans behind. Oh, Bjorn sits down at the bar with a tired sigh. After a moment, he sits up properly. Evening, Bjorn. What accent did I give him before? I think I tried to give him like a piratey type accent, but it accidentally slipped into like a Irish sort of accent. I'm still not entirely settled. Good to see you, pal. It's been a long day. Everything okay? I suppose so. Someone I work with passed away. We weren't close, but it's a real shame. Sorry to hear that. Oh, that's life. I'll drink a toast to them, I suppose. I like how the drinks change here, just like the people. What sort of drinks do you like, Bjorn? I don't remember your favorite, or if we still have it, honestly. Something simple and strong, perhaps with a slice of lemon if you have that. Alrighty. I think I can do that. Let's see. Simple with a slice of lemon. Evening prayer? That sounds perfect for Mr. Bjorn. This was one we had in the first case, but then went off the menu for the second. Tastes like the angels share. In Scotia, that's the best bit of whiskey. That's the best bit of the whiskey barrel. Lovely. All right. How are things with you and Lucas? They're good. Really good, thanks. We have more in common than I realized. I'm not sure if he really does enjoy bird watching in the Grey Forest, or if he's just indulging me. I suppose it doesn't matter much. I can tell he is having a good time. When he is content, he hums to himself under his breath. He hums. Yes, one time I told him. He said he didn't know he was doing it. Then he said we would try to stop. I felt terrible. I told him I really like it. I mean, I love it. But I won't mention it again in case he stops. That's so cute. Like, not just learning your loved one's little idiosyncrasies, but really enjoying them. Indeed, I'll just keep trying to make him happy, and then I'll hear it again. And if we go bird watching and I surprise him with a little flask of that fancy coffee he likes to help us on our forest walk, I know the humming will start up pretty soon. Let's hope so. Ah. How your brother's doing? We gave him advice on that last time. Well, remember I said I'd invite one of my brothers to stay with me? I was going to try to keep them out of trouble. I asked you for advice on who should come. I do remember that. Well, Anstrom has been staying with me for almost a month now. Oh god, please tell me it's not horrible. And? The first 2 weeks were very hard. He was attending a Scotia expat social club and got into arm wrestling with the sailors and soldiers there. He challenged the local champion to a 3-set match. Anstrom won, but the soldier, a big ugly bastard called Gallus Gregory, took offense to losing face in front of his pals. You remember Anstrom was the fighter? I remember. Hey, well, Gregory invited my brother outside so they could settle their grievances. The crowd gathered, they made quite a scene in the muddy streets outside the post office. Who won? Anstrom lost 3 teeth, broken a finger, and I think he cracked a rib too. Gregory embarrassed him. Gave my brother a proper beating he won't forget. Ooh, maybe that'll teach him to stop picking fights with people. At least he stood his ground. Aye, the daft bastard. Sorry about the language. Just like all my family, he's a big, strong lad, and he's a decent fighter, but Gregory is a trained killer. That's the difference. You can't fight a Saran soldier and expect to win. Anstrom is tough, but Gregory smashes tough guys for fun. That's his career. Is Anstrom okay? I spent my month's salary on a decent doctor. His body is fine now, but his pride is wounded. What will he do now? Well, he avoids the Scotia social clubs now. Though Gregory holds no grudge, he probably won't even remember Anstrom. Maybe that's the hardest thing for him. Back home, he was a well-known troublemaker. Here, he's just another immigrant that's been put in his place. Is there any other way to help him? Licking his wounds, but when he looks presentable and his finger heals, I can take him in front of some local foremen and try to get him work. Should you have asked a different brother to come? Too soon to say. He could go either way. He might pull his life together, or he might get shanked in an alleyway because he was too daft to back down. What about conscription? God, I hope he can avoid it. I'll do what I can to keep him out of the war, but right now, I just don't know if I can save him. Time will tell. Time will tell indeed. Well, got 2 more actions left. I don't think it'll do me any well to ask about the murder at the opera. Bjorn does not seem like an opera fellow. Your work seems tough. It is what it is. It keeps me busy and keeps the dark thoughts at bay. Dark thoughts. Sure, if I don't keep myself busy, I start thinking about the war, how much I miss home, the father I lost. Best to build stuff and work hard so I don't get too trapped inside my own thoughts. Oh, I feel that. Do you want to talk about any of that? Not really. That's why I work hard. Weren't you listening? Haha. Hitting sheet metal with a mallet maybe ain't for everyone, but by the goddess, I don't know what I'd do without it. I get it. You get something that seems invincible, but then through force and time, you just keep hammering, you shape it into something new. If my real problems were like that, well, just pass me the hammer. I'd fix the world. Very admirable. Well, tell me about your home country, Scotia. Well, I'm feeling a mite homesick, so I won't linger on the subject, but I can tell you one interesting difference between Tar and Scotia. Alright? We neighbor with Albion. It's bigger, richer, and more powerful than us. Albion and Scotia don't always see eye to eye. We have a big, long, open border, but we aren't exactly best buds. That border has seen some sights. Do you have a story? Aye, did I ever tell you about my uncle, Allie? No. Mad old bastard, he had a screw loose, but he was a good laugh. No one hated Albion like Uncle Allie. I'm gonna assume that's a nickname for, like, Albert or something. Yeah, there's one mad tradition that used to make us all laugh. At the end of the year, he would take his old bicycle and he'd ride all the way to the border. At the stroke of midnight on New Year, he'd take 1 step over the border, take a deep breath, and shout, "Bastards!" at the top of his lungs. Why? He said the New Year was a chance to remind them of his opinion. Once a shower of bastards, always a shower of bastards. It's funny. Aye, that's Uncle Ali, all right. I'm not saying I agree with the sentiment, but I confess, every time I hear the story, I chuckle. I can see why. All right, early shift tomorrow, so I better get myself moving. Oh, that's right, we have this thing over here. I suppose we should try to research some topics, maybe? How are you, Ilya? Ilya? I think that's how you pronounce that. That's right. When we first came over here, I thought it was just a computer, but it's actually like an actual person on the other end. How are you, Ilya? How are you, Ilya? Registered. Good. Exciting times here at the archives today. We're receiving a new shipment of international newspapers. Well, exciting by my standards, I suppose. Thanks for asking. Oh, wait. We told her about the speakeasy last time, didn't we? And she asked, like, off the record how the drinks were. I wonder if she ever stopped by. Or if she is gonna stop by. Let's see. Let's look up Stavros. Ooh. Personal life? Personal life registered. Stavros Stone was born in 1896 at the Royal Hospital in Bukovy. He is mostly known for his brief opera career. Oh god. Brief because it was cut short unceremoniously. Mr. Stone joined his school's theater club as part of his education, where he developed his talents as an opera singer, in part to his natural baritone voice. Ooh. He was scouted by famous producer Lawrence Sullivan IV in 1918. That's the guy who was directing the opera, where he died, and shared the lead role in his first major opera, Crossing, with fellow performer Olivia Carmine. Oh, so they performed together before. During early production of Crossing, Olivia Carmine and Stavros Stone profoundly shared in interviews that they were dating. Multiple tabloids covered the couple's public relationship. Olivia mentioned something about an ex-husband, didn't she? Or was it a husband who died? If it's a husband who died, then yeah. The relationship ended roughly 9 months later. While many tabloids at the time speculated on the cause of the breakup, neither performer ever gave an official statement on the matter. Ooh, Stavros Stone hasn't been credited in any other productions since Crossing, and quietly disappeared from the public eye until his return to the stage in 1928 to perform Deliance at the Maverick Opera House. Stavros Stone passed away during a performance of Deliance. His death was caused by a stab wound from a seemingly malfunctioning stage prop inflicted by his co-star Olivia Carmine. Police are still investigating what led to this tragic accident. Okay, so Stavros and Olivia used to date. Ooh. Now let's ask about his career. Stavros Stone had an interest in theater during his education, practicing his skills in a school's theater club. His natural bass voice gave him a strong vocal presence, perfectly suited for opera. Playing mostly side characters during notable opera works, his real rise to fame occurred when he was scouted by producer Lawrence Sullivan IV, who had him audition for the male lead role in his now famous work Crossing. Stavros managed to impress the production team and was given the lead role alongside Olivia Carmine. The two leads became romantically involved sometime during early production. Yeah, we went over this. A couple of months after the final performance of Crossing, the couple had announced their breakup. While neither party disclosed any details, tabloids speculated heavily. Is that some information we're going to have to get out of Olivia at some point? I feel like it might be. In the context of his career, some sources noted that since then, Stavros was not given any role in any major production over the past 10 years, despite the massive success of Crossing. Ooh. While purely speculation, industry veterans and those invested in the world of theater attribute this to Mr. Stone being blacklisted by producers. Although confirmation was never shared with the public, this theory is widely considered to be the most plausible reason for Stavros' absence in the theater. Was it... Ooh, I wonder if it was because Olivia. Ooh. His long hiatus ended in 1928 when Lawrence Sullivan IV decided... I'm gonna call him Lawrence. I think his full name is a mouthful. Decided to reach out to Mr. Stone to fill the lead role of Hercule in the latest and final work, Deliance. Stavros' activities during those intervening 10 years is currently unknown. Okay. Star couple. Stavros and Olivia were dating during their time working together on Crossing. While the tabloids had extensive coverage of their relationship, it's unclear what caused them to break up. I'm probably gonna have to ask Olivia about that. Despite once being a rising star, Stavros hasn't worked in the theater industry at all in the decades since his role in Crossing. This could indicate that he was blacklisted. Even promising careers quickly end when you have a bad reputation among producers. Alright, let's... Gale is the guy who wrote the play. Right, I briefly forgot. I'm bad at remembering names. Gale de Winter is a famous playwright in Bukovy. While the name is well known even outside the world of theater, only those invested in opera are aware that it is in fact a pen name used by an anonymous individual. Ooh. The name Gale de Winter first appeared in the credits of notable plays around the year 1920. Since then, many have speculated about the real identity of Gale. Most producers who worked with the anonymous playwright in the past state that communication was handled by mail through a P.O. box. Only a few, most notably Lawrence, claim to have worked with Gale directly. I wonder if we're gonna find out who Gale is. Ooh. This revelation came to light during an interview with Mr. Sullivan during the production of his latest and final work, Dalliance, which was written entirely by Gale de Winter. Mr. Sullivan told interviewers that Gale's identity is a well-kept secret, and he would only share it with his most trusted confidants. Oh, he also mentioned turning down several monetary offers from tabloids in exchange for disclosing their real identity. Fascinating. We can look up Hugo again. Didn't we look him up last time? Detective Hugo Nestor Mertens is a detective for the Bukovy police force. His investigations have been mentioned in 7 major news articles. He is not Sarin. There is mention of Detective Mertens of Brux Police Constabulary in the country of Belgia. The earliest mention of Detective Mertens and Sara is from 1926, so that was 2 years ago? 3 years ago-ish? Internal sources of the Bukovy police force have him listed as the current investigator assigned to the incident at the Maverick Opera House, where a lethal mix-up caused the death of actor Stavros Stone. Alright, not too bad. Maybe we'll have some more to look up later. I really like this game. I do kind of wish it was voice acted, though. That's like, eventually when we get to the game Date Everything, which do trust, we will get to that game at some point. I do greatly appreciate that it is fully voice acted, because games like this, where it's just a lot of text boxes in talking to people, you know, my voice kind of can't always handle it, you know? It's a little bit rough sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. So, I like when, you know, when we're doing like big research bits like that, you know, kind of having to do it in smaller chunks. I don't imagine we're going to be able to combine anything yet, but we might as well, I suppose. No. Well, it was worth a shot. And then there's not a whole lot we can do yet. I'm just waiting for fucking... Oh, croissants! Oh, the cat has a name tag now. It just said cat before. Oh. Alright, who is here? Who is here? Sandra! Oh my gosh, girl, I completely forgot about you. That's right, she showed up at the beginning of the previous case. And then we never saw her again. Trying to keep her nose clean during Prohibition. Okay. Business looks healthy, and so do you. Good to see you again. Good to see you as well. I've kept my head low long enough. I've been taking long walks in the early morning to clear my head. I saw military ships in port this morning. You know, if we really are looking at war on the continent again, places like this will be invaluable. And if you're the only gig in town, well, I should pass on what I know if it can help, right? You're still serving drinks, so my advice from the last time can't have hurt. Yeah? I don't know if you're just telling me what I want to hear, but I'll do the smart thing. I'll take the compliment and assume you're being honest. Speaking of honesty, I presume you've noticed some people talk more freely when they had enough to drink. While this may be true for most people, there are people like myself who have a bit more mental fortitude. I'm not sure I follow. This place is a sanctuary, and when people feel safe, they open up. But people who need to be careful what they say are on guard when they feel themselves losing control. Some people have learned to clam up when they've had too much to drink. Ooh. Fascinating. After years of working my bar, I noticed that the best way to loosen these people up is to rely on subtlety. The key is to get your customer nice and loose while they still feel like they're in control. Get them too drunk and they'll be aware of their inebriation, making them avoid potentially uncomfortable situations. Ooh. Because that's happened for, you know, certain dialogue topics. We need to get them to, like, the second level of inebriation. Drunk. I guess she's talking about getting them tipsy, but without getting them drunk. And then if we get them inebriated, that's when they call it quits entirely and go home. Alright. Want to keep the needle in the middle, so to speak. Get them just tipsy enough where... She's just reiterating what I said. Okay. Just tipsy enough where they still believe they're in charge. That feeling of comfort will make them open up. I'll keep that in mind. So, how about you show me that in action? I could use a drink myself. What kind of flavor do you fancy? Seems my favorite is off the menu. How about something seasonally appropriate for a chance? Would that be enough to work with? Seasonally appropriate? What is seasonally appropriate? It said we were in November in the previous case, and it said a few months later, so now we are in February. Seasonally appropriate? Is she talking about the dry war, maybe? Or the cold winter? Ooh, maybe the cold winter. Let's go with that. Doing one of thems again. Gotta get my practice in for when Peter will definitely totally come by. I really like Peter, if I haven't made that, you know, clear enough. I'm pretty sure there are romance options in the game. I don't know exactly who is romanceable and who is not. I hope Peter is. Yes, this is made correctly. You've been paying attention. It means a lot coming from you. That's better. You know, I don't have anyone else to share my knowledge with. By the goddess, if this prohibition ever ends, maybe we could work together. Every night I dream of the kind of establishment I would open if I could. Unless things change, though, a dream is what that will remain. Maybe you could help out here? That's decent of you to offer, but I don't feel quite brave enough to break the National Prohibition Act. Besides, this place doesn't need me. It has you. Aw. Her tired eyes scan the room as if she wants to take in the nostalgia of old Bukovia bars. Finally, her gaze rests upon the stack in the corner. That's this thing back here. And she lets out a soft chuckle. Huh, here I go giving tips on getting information when you have one of those puppies sitting in the corner. You're familiar with the stack? Quite familiar. There's a public terminal at the Bukovia Library. It's incredible just how much you can learn from that thing. People, places, history, anything ever written down can be found with it. The librarian was kind enough to let me use it for a whole hour for only 3 lei. Oh, lei is the currency here? I think there were mentions of lei before, but that just kind of flew right over my head. Well, you're free to use this one if you like. No, thank you, that won't be necessary. I've already spent enough time with it. I researched the Lakes of Sari, you see. I'm going to go exploring soon, see some of the countryside before it's ruined by war. I'll be gone for a while, but I'll try to come back when I can. This place brings back memories, and it's the only place a girl can get a proper drink. I'll see you around, barkeep. Look after this place. Goodbye, Sandra. I'm pretty sure she's supposed to act as kind of like a tutorial-esque... Hi, Elena, I'll get to you in a second. Like a tutorial-esque kind of thing, you know? Like learning new things at the start of each case sort of deal. But it is, you know, still a touch suspicious that she seems to only show up right after someone's been murdered. Elena appears out of nowhere, startling you. Her eyes are piercing as always, but her demeanor is very slightly warmer than the last time you spoke. She almost seems eager. Oh, maybe because Hugo specifically asked us not to help with the investigation, but she's a private investigator, so I'm probably gonna have to rely on her more now. Good evening. There is something in the air. Do you feel it? What was the voice I gave it before? I think it was... I don't know. Do you mean the murder? Something more than that. Our city is abuzz with gossip and rumor. People are frightened, but invigorated. That excitement soaks into people like us. It energizes us. People like us? Those who are attuned to the spirit of the city. We are sensitive souls. Intrigue and mystery is our catalyst. So yes, the murder is where it begins, but it is just a beginning. I suspect Hugo has not asked you for your help this time. I can read that boy like a book. A textbook about trains, perhaps. People keep nagging on him for being into trains. Just let the dude have his autistic hobbies. Jesus. And I personally don't have the train flavor of autism, but one of Ben's friends does that he met in school. He has like so many like really expensive train sets. That's kind of how I imagine Hugo being. Anyway, I assume he wants to go this one alone, but I have a proposition. Yeah. Last time we worked together, if you want to call it work, I felt something. A spark. It felt like the old days. Something kindled inside me and I was reborn. The fogginess of my thoughts was cleared. I confess I have enjoyed my retirement. I found rest and peace, but my mind was dulled through inaction. The horrible murder we investigated acted like a whetstone. My mind is sharp again, like it used to be. Oh, Lago has things to say. He's just shifting around. He kind of bonked his head on the edge of my desk. And so I think it is time I admitted something to myself. I need this. I need to work again. Retirement can be hella boring. A painful defeat in my past brought on my retirement, but though the wounds of that defeat have scarred me, I have healed. Why now? Bartender, I was right there in the audience when it happened. I saw the knife stab the poor man. Providence put me there. I feel I am needed once more, and I am certain the spark that reignited the ashes of my career started with you. Really? I need your connections, your insight, your ability to talk with strangers, your position of trust. Allied with my guidance and knowledge, we make a potent team. I propose we get to the bottom of this tragic event and solve this newest mystery together. Oh, she's basically taken Hugo's place now, it sounds like. Where do we start? We still need Detective Mertens. His position and authority lends us credibility and a reliable channel to report our findings. He feels he must take the weight of this case on his own shoulders alone, but I fear it is beyond his capabilities to succeed without us. We will collate our findings and then you will report to him, but only when we have examined all leads. So let us begin. I will brief you on the facts of the case forthwith. I'm ready. That's the spirit. Now, during the performance of the play Dalliance, written by Gail De Winter and directed by Lawrence Sullivan IV, lead actor Stavros Stone was stabbed on stage by co-star Olivia Carmine. Stavros did not survive the wound, and Miss Carmine remains distraught over the accident. Ooh. It seems something more complex than a simple accident has occurred. You see, there was a scene in the first act where Olivia's character Penelope stabs herself with a dagger. She was not harmed. Ooh. The weapon that killed Stavros seemed to be the same prop dagger that malfunctioned. I find this suspicious as the prop master Reese, now fired, had a good reputation. If it was sabotaged, the fact that Olivia was unharmed when she too was stabbed suggests the dagger was brought into play later after Act 1. It is my contention that some foul play occurred during intermission. The suspects are those who had access to the prop table and are as follows. The leading lady, Olivia. The prop master, Reese Kenrid, and a stagehand by the name of Effia DeVos. That's a new name. Only 3 suspects? Usually we get 4. That's them all? Start with these 3. Talk to each. Use what you know to put them at ease. Charm them, make them drinks, joke with them, and most importantly of all, listen to them. Reese, Olivia, and Effia. One of them holds the truth. Let's solve this mystery together. Time to work, bartender. Learn what you can and report back to me. Together we'll get to the bottom of this. I'm on it. Well, what are you waiting for? Get busy. Okay, but literally none of those people are here today. What do you want me to do about that? Nom de plume. Gail De Winter is a pen name. The real identity of Dalliance's writer is known only to a select few who work with him. Olivia stabbed Stavros Stone during the second act of Dalliance. She wasn't hurt when she stabbed herself during the first act, suggesting the dagger was brought into play during the intermission by someone with access to the prop table. Okay. Oh, we do have a case thing. Ooh. Why don't we have all of our suspects listed out here, huh? We've got 4 spots for suspects. Interesting. Well, let's talk with Vincent. Well, we're still here. All's good, I hope. Evening, Vincent. Let's get you a drink. Oh, the femme fatale was not good. Not good. Okay. He said before he likes orange. He might like the poison drop. It's got the orange peel, and he likes sweet things as well. Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet, which he would have mentioned the fucking orange. Bullshit before. I hate it when people make me guess what the fuck they want instead of just being direct and then not liking whatever I give them. I'm seeing some signs of improvement. You know, I'm a big fan of orange. If you have any recipes up your sleeve with citrus, I'm all for it. I literally just gave you one. I think that's what he told me before. Shit ass. Okay, well, can I ask you about some of these things, maybe? Let's ask him about the nom de plume. Yes. Oh, yes, of course, I was aware of that. Gale de Winter is a very talented writer indeed. Naturally, I'm well acquainted with their oeuvre. In fact, I have one or two of their librettos in stock. Do you know who it might be? I've certainly wondered. I try to respect an artist's privacy, but I have a few theories. If you asked me last year, I would have confidently told you it was Matei Vasile. It goes without saying that they'd be Sauron-born and upper class, but after Dalliance, I'm certain the poignant tragedy of Penelope's lament could only have been penned by a woman. My bet would be on Marussia Ionescu. These are names. Of course, it's nothing but speculation. The only people who know for sure are the ones who worked with them directly, producers, directors, and the like. Us common folk aren't privy to such secrets. Okay, well... Ooh, star couple? He also liked Olivia. I suppose we were all young and foolish once. Of course, Stone was a talented actor, and I'm sure he was fairly charming in his day, as well despite his humble background. But I'm glad Miss Carmine came to her senses and married someone of her own social standing. Vincent, don't be like that. There's something to be said for broadening one's horizons, but in my experience, trying to unite two different worlds rarely leads to anything good. Oh no, Vincent. Well, I don't think I want to ask about anything else. TBH. Killian. Hey. I've heard a drink is good for a bad day. I wonder how true that is. Ooh, so he wants to have a drink now. What sort of drink would you like, Killian? Let me have a look at your list. Killian squints at the drink menu behind you, whispering the names under his breath. He liked the mint and punch before, which is back. Ah, yes, it's finally back. What is? The mint punch. It's the drink I liked the most back when this bar first opened. Slightly alcoholic and plenty sweet. I'd like one of those. Yeah. Way to be direct with your order. I could go for a tipple right now. Fancy people words. That's almost cute. He was excited his favorite drink was back. Oh my, this is excellent. Perfectly balanced. Well done. Well, you really like it here, don't you? And he comes here a lot. Like it? Why, I love this place. Ever since I lost Alina, I feel I don't quite fit anywhere, except maybe here. What do you think? I'm glad it feels like home. The mix of people, the drinks, the ambiance, it's just so invigorating. And the fact that my mother, my cousins, my housekeeper, and my old school teachers don't come here helps a lot too. Oh dear. You're avoiding them all? As much as I can, yes. Every day I'm surrounded by two types of people. Those who suspect I'm a buffoon, and those who have seen enough evidence to be sure of it. I guess I don't count because I'm both of those. Yeah, I'm not one or the other, I'm both. At home I'm labeled a layabout because I have no employment. Amongst friends I'm either called a sad sack when I talk about Alina, or they consider me heartless for not grieving enough. Do they expect me to don a black veil and haunt the graveyard like some ghoul? Or do they prefer I pretend she never lived? I cannot win. Do not get me wrong, there are plenty of reasons I do not want to be around my friends and family. That is not the reason I love it here. And why? It is more than the drinks and the people, the scent of citrus and cinnamon and the jazz from the old record player. No, this place is magical. I cannot put my finger on why. It's the feeling that anything could happen here. Yes, that is it. When I come here, it feels like this is the stage, not some silly opera. It feels like this is where the lead characters come to live out their adventures. I wonder if it also has something to do with the fact that the affection is pretty darn high. I don't know if Killian is romanceable. I don't think I would go for that. I mean, he's not as much of a shithead as he as he used to be. But, you know. You tried to save Stavros? Yes, I tried being the operative word. I was never the best medical student. I wasn't even the best medical student that dropped out. But after Alina's death, when I was so helpless, I just wanted to do something, you know? I tried to help and I almost made things worse, or the same, I guess. Killian's shoulders slumped down. He picks at a splinter on the counter absentmindedly. Reese probably did the right thing when they pulled me aside. I saw someone die up close, and I was once again of no help. Oh, that's right, because he was there when Alina died. Worse, this time I almost had his blood on my hands, and I am not being metaphorical. Goddess knows I've had enough flowery language and heavy-handed symbolism from that damned opera. I just feel useless. As the son of a doctor, I should have done better, been better. But though I'm guilty, I'm bored with my own depression. Can you imagine anything worse? Not only am I miserable, I'm bored with my own misery. And so I sit here and drink, and I look for distraction anywhere I can find it. Say, did you see Reese around? I should ask them if they prefer cats or dogs. Reese keeps being referred to as they. And I don't know if it's just because Killian doesn't know them that well, or if Reese is canonically non-binary. We haven't met them yet. But again, I think in this, like, you know, type of old-timey game, to still get non-binary representation, I think that's really cool. Because I love me some queer happiness and representation. I think it's great. What can I say? I love me some woke. Reese is one of our suspects, though, so I really hope they didn't do it. Can you tell me about the opera? Do I absolutely have to? No. Fine, I shall indulge you. Allow me to summarize the world's most self-indulgent, teeth-grindingly boring play any human has ever endured. Is that bad? At one point, I found a ball of lint in my jacket pocket, and I maintained my sanity by squeezing it between my fingers and imagining it was Lawrence Sullivan's head. And I did not think there would be quite so much singing in an opera. My dude, do you know what an opera is? Like, huh? It was skin-crawlingly awkward. Frankly, the addition of a real-life murder was possibly the only thing that could wake up some of the audience members. I need to laugh at his joke, don't I? I shouldn't joke, but I feel like if you can't laugh at these things with friends in an illegal speakeasy, when can you? Just give me the gist of the story. Very well. In brief, Olivia's character, I do not remember her name in the play. Paulina, perhaps? It was Penelope. Even I remember that, and I am absolutely shit with names. Sings for about 40 minutes at the start of the performance about her horrible past, then kills herself with a dagger. And then the story goes back in time, a flashback they call it, but I call it a headache. Anyway, we see all the events leading up to her melodramatic suicide, which were miserable. She was unlucky in love, something about a horse, more unbearable than singing. Then eventually we learn she killed her husband with the same dagger. So the main character dies at the start? And murders her husband at the end, yes. But of course the scene played out a little too authentically and Stavros was stabbed to death. But Olivia wasn't hurt at the start. When she was stabbed? No. Strange that, wasn't it? I wonder how it all happened. Well, I'm sure Detective Mertens will figure it all out, or more likely Alina Ernst will swoop in and steal his glory. All I can be sure of is this. I will never be going to the opera again. The boring play was bad enough, but the real-life murder was, at the denouement, too much. Oh, Killian. Killian. Alright, that's all I got for you. I shall get back to work. Anything I want to talk to Elena about? Oh, I didn't get her a drink. As you know, I think best in a bar. Something about the ambience clears the mind. Can I get you a drink? You place the glass on the table. How about a drink? Oh, no thanks, dear. I never drink on the job. I must keep a clear head. Oh. But that's how I get better relationship with people. I get them real nice and toasted. You mentioned a painful defeat in your past. Yeah, I'm curious about this. She visibly stiffens and takes her breath and her shoulders relax a little. Yes, I see you were paying attention, and you're not afraid to ask questions, even when you know they might cause upset. I didn't mean to upset you. You know those detective stories where the brilliant, insightful sleuth solves the unsolvable crimes and is always one step ahead of the criminals? Sure. Splendid. Well, anyway, in those stories, the brilliant detective eventually comes across a criminal mastermind that is their equal. A foe as cunning and ruthless as the detective is steadfast and unwavering. You have an enemy? I have a nemesis. Or had. I'm not sure they would consider me an enemy anymore. I would have to be a threat. In fact, I doubt they think about me at all. What happened? In those heroic stories I mentioned at the end, through great sacrifice and effort, the hero outsmarts the criminal, and though the plot twists and turns, they emerge triumphant. But this is not a heroic story, bartender. This is real life, and real life does not have neat and tidy conclusions. Real life is messier, and though it can have happy endings, this is not one. They beat you. She nods and almost smiles. You get the sense she has just accepted something for the first time. Yes, she beat me. She. Easily. I was no match for her, only by sliding into the ignominy. Wow, what an SAT word there. Of retirement and obscurity could I save myself from my nemesis's retribution. I thought of the safety of family and I surrendered. Who is she? Pray you never learn. Perhaps I will tell you more about her one day, but knowing even her name is dangerous. Let us move on to other subjects. I feel like it's someone we're going to have to deal with later. Either someone we already know or someone who's going to come up later and be very important. That's my guess. That would be quite the twist. Alright, well, since I can't serve you, that's enough now. Let's go ahead and end the day, I suppose. I'll try to see if we can connect any clues. Olivia stabs Stavros Stone during the second act of Alliance. Worth a shot. Alright. I'm just trying to find more clues, okay? I'm just trying to do the job that I was not asked to do. At least by Hugo. I kind of like Elena, though. So, ooh, new person? Multiple new people. Oh, Hugo's here. A distinguished gentleman approaches the bar and sits down. While he looks similar in age to Vincent, the way he carries himself suggests more vim and vigor. Hello there! Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I presume you run this fine establishment? God, that is some facial hair. You presume correctly. Wonderful. It is always great to meet new people. Though my reputation precedes me, I feel it is more important to make introductions regardless. I am Lawrence Sullivan IV, theater producer and director, great-grandson of Lawrence Sullivan III, and current patriarch of the venerable and well-respected Sullivan family. You work in opera, right? Yes, that's right. I'm pleased you're in touch with the cultural landscape of Bukovy. Our lineage is about as old as Bukovy itself. I doubt you could find a single major historical event in Bukovy's history that doesn't mention the involvement of one of my ancestors. Ooh. Let's see. The Lawrence Sullivan IV, famous opera producer at the Maverick. The very same. Good to see I have fans in unexpected places. A speakeasy in the first. That's all, folks. Try that again. Clearly more alcohol will help. Yeah, these well-to-do, especially famous types, really like to have their ego stroked, you know? This ain't my first rodeo. A speakeasy isn't the first establishment that comes to mind when one thinks of high culture, but good art permeates all strata of Bukovy society. We're already halfway to the first affection segment. Would you like a drink? Why else would I frequent an illegal underground bar? Ah, Olivia certainly knows some interesting spots around this city. Olivia told you about this place. Yes, indeed. She told me about the fantastical portal to pre-prohibition times I could find hidden beneath Libraria. Unfortunately, due to recent events, she didn't have time to tell me exactly where to find the entrance. Fortunately, I know Vincent well enough. We've always moved in similar circles, so I simply asked him where to go, and here we are. Very good. Now then, how about that drink? What flavors do you enjoy? Now bear in mind how I look while consuming the beverage. Perhaps something simple to represent my modesty, but with a little flair as the proverbial cherry on top. Okay. So he's all about appearances? Let's see if I can make something worthy of your name. Aha, that's the spirit. And this guy is real full of himself. Okay. How he looks while drinking the drink. Something simple, he said? Perhaps an evening prayer, maybe? Maybe a dry war. That just looks like... That's literally just a regular martini. Gin, vermouth, and olive? Yeah, that's just a basic martini. Okay. Even I know enough about drinks to know that, and I know diddly dick about cocktails and drinks and shit. Well, there you go. This drink was awfully average. When it's done, I'll have another glass. Oh, does that mean you didn't like it? Well, it was a good attempt, at least. I look forward to spending more time here. Olivia did well to find this place and recommend it to me. As long as the police are investigating this unfortunate incident, I can't really travel out the city anyway. That said, I bid you adieu, my friend. Okay. Oh. Fashionable stranger. Is this Reese? The stranger sits down at the bar. Their eyes narrow as they regard each person in turn before turning to face you. You're not sure if they're annoyed or if that's just their eyebrow. Well, they're already in a bad mood. Rough day. The trials and tribulations that have plagued me cannot be contained within a mere 24 hours. Though I deem it unfair to offload all my torment upon an innocent ear. You're refreshingly earnest. I am. My name is Reese Kenrid. I was the prop master at the Maverick Opera House. Pleasure to meet you. After the tragedy at my former place of employment, I was told by many that I could use a drink. A blithely cheerful blonde fellow pointed me in this direction. Is it Killian? What did you think of Killian? The human equivalent of a golden retriever in a powder pink suit. No doubt his mother thinks his looks are adequate compensation for all his other shortcomings. Definitely Killian. He did not disclose his name, usually an essential first step when desperately trying to form a new friendship, especially bewildering when the friendship would be between two mismatched and strange bedfellows. Goddess, I am so sour today, even I cannot stand it. I am somehow even more judgmental than usual this evening. I cannot quite believe this Killian fellow leapt on stage and tried to help. His lack of medical knowledge is staggering. His heart was in the right place, I suppose, but I'm not sure he knew the names or locations of any of the other organs. Can I offer you an egg in these trying times? Yes, in spite of it all, Killian was right. I could use a drink. I'm very curious to see what you will serve me on this moonlit evening. Any flavors you're fond of? Something light and sweet, but not too strong. Something that symbolizes a fresh start. After tonight, I want to face tomorrow with renewed zeal. Light, but not too sweet. Okay. Perhaps... maybe the mint punch? Possibly? That's Killian's favorite. Yeah, we'll go with the mint punch. Killian's not a big fan of the taste of alcohol, and he seems to like that one. Maybe it'll work out here too. Do we have a winner? That really hit the spot. Fresh yet sweet, like a new dawn in a glass. I love it. Oh, yay! Success. I think I'll be back. The decor is a bit bright and garish for my taste, but there's a shabby, faded grandeur I appreciate, personified by Vincent, whose eccentric manner is occasionally amusing. You're always welcome here. Reese's mask of affected disinterest slips for a moment, and they let out a low breath, perhaps a sigh of relief. You suspect they are going through a difficult time. I mean, they were just fired and are probably essentially being blamed for somebody's death. Perhaps I can bring my friends along. The Ravenborn Society might enjoy it here. We need a new place to discuss this month's novel. Now then, I can't stay around for too long this evening. I need to find a new job soon, and I must make sure I do not spiral into a pit of alcohol and self-pitying melancholy, as I do most Tuesdays. It's Wednesday. They put some coins on the counter, give a courteous nod, and walk off towards the exit, waving without looking back. Oh, we don't get to talk to them anymore? Dang. New person here. I want to overhear this conversation, though. Mr. Sullivan, I need to talk to you in an official capacity about the recent events at the Maverick Theatre during the performance of the play you produced. Yes, very good. I say, aren't you that detective fellow? You have a strong jawline, distinctive. Have you ever acted or modeled? What? No, Mr. Sullivan, this is not the time for... I don't have much to do with the fashion world, but my cousin Maurice is looking for unusual-looking gentlemen who can showcase his three-piece suits on some billboards. I'm an officer of... What do you mean unusual? Oh, I meant it as a compliment, of course. Not unusual in an unappealing way. You know, distinctive, striking. Mr. Lawrence, can I ask you about some unusual events about the night of the accident? It's that jawline, so rugged. Yes, you'd make a fine leading man too, you know, if you had talent or charisma. Mr. Lawrence, can you tell me exactly where you were at? Some people will hear that they lack charisma and consider that an insult. Not me. I see true charisma all the time, and though it's essential on stage, I know that it comes not from practice or virtuous effort. Mr. Sullivan, if you could please listen to my questions carefully. All I want to know is, charisma is like being tall and beautiful. Indeed, a part of physical charisma for a leading man is being tall. But what I'm really talking about is the charisma of personality. You know, the type of person who lights up a room with a smile, who makes your heart glow warm just because you are in their presence. You're not listening to me at all. I hate small talk. Small talk? We are discussing the most important aspect of a man's nature, their ability to inspire others with affection and connection. Mr. Lawrence, that's all very interesting, but if we could get back to my questions about the incident during Dalliance. Ah, yes, well, Dalliance relied on strong, charismatic male performers. Somewhat stiff and unlikable at first, of course, but not unlike you. But as the story progresses... Forget it. This is going nowhere. I hate the theater. Ah, good one, old fellow. Poor Hugo. So who is this new person? Assertive lady. An assertive young woman approaches the bar. For a brief moment she looks around, seeming to admire the decor before she takes a seat on the stool. A woman walks into a bar. Not a bad start, huh? Huh? It's the opening of one of my favorite books. Then she orders a drink. Oh, this is Effia. So what have you got? What do you like? Something tangy, perhaps with a hint of spice. It's the opening of one of my favorite books. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do. How about a drink? I'd love one. A well-mixed cocktail is always appreciated. Something with spice. I really don't know why we have the Royal Flush here, because it has an alcohol percentage of 9, and I think that's the maximum that anyone's alcohol tolerance can be. So, like, just a Royal Flush, I think, is literally just like, hey, I need this person to leave immediately. Let's try a drama queen, maybe? Ooh. She does work in the theater. Does. No, I don't think she got fired. I think only Reese got fired. I think as far as I know. Ooh. Don't be hard on yourself. This isn't quite right, but it's not bad either. Oh. Ball sex. I did my best. This venue is nice. Vincent's doing a good thing here, creating a place for us all to drink and mix. Mixed clientele? Most of them aren't awful. What does that mean? Oh, don't take my cynicism too seriously. My opinion of people improves dramatically when I'm no longer sober. Thanks for the drink. Yeah, right. Is there anything new I can look up here? Oh, God. Oh, yeah. There's a few. Let's look up Effia, since she's here. Born 1898 as a citizen of Bukovi who emigrated to Sara at a young age. She is credited working as a stagehand and as an actor. Her first credit was in 1918, where she acted in Crossing. More recently, in 1928, she appeared as a stagehand during the premiere of Dalliance. No further information is available. Cool. Olivia Carmine, please select a topic. God damn it. Personal life. Olivia Carmine was born 1894 at the Royal Hospital in Bukovi. She is the daughter of Barthelo Carmine and famous singer Victoria Carmine, notable members of the ancient aristocratic Carmine family. Olivia enjoyed a prestigious private education where her talent for singing as a mezzo-soprano was quickly discovered. Nurtured by the experience of her mother, she made her first debut at the theater in 1918 with her performance in Crossing. Sufficient tabloid coverage and magazine articles exist to strongly suggest that both the leads, Olivia Carmine and Several Stone, had entered a relationship shortly before their first performance. The relationship ended a few months later. While many tabloids have speculated on the cause of the breakup, an official statement was never released by either performer. Olivia later married Gustave Trafalgar, though opting to retain her family name. Their marriage lasted for 5 years before Gustav passed away from cardiac arrest caused by a congenital heart defect. Oh. Olivia has since stated she no longer holds interest in long-term relationships, choosing to focus on her career as an opera singer and hosting her popular radio show Chamomile and Carmine. Olivia has gone on record in several newspaper interviews to say she considers herself a devout follower of the Church of the Goddess and considers her faith to have a significant positive impact on her day-to-day life. Okay. About news. As confirmed by hundreds of eyewitnesses in the audience, Olivia Carmine stabbed fellow actor Stavros Stone during the performance of Dalliance, written by Gail de Winter and produced by Lawrence Sullivan IV. This was to be Mr. Sullivan's final work before entering retirement. The police investigation is still ongoing, and Miss Carmine was released after recounting her version of events leading up to the event. Or incident. Whatever. The Bukovi police... Tomato, has released a statement saying that they are actively investigating whether it was a tragic accident caused by a malfunctioning prop or if it was purposefully tampered with. Olivia Carmine has not made a public appearance since the incident. Reporters and investigators are consistently met by her agent and lawyer instead. I hope she stops by eventually. I'm sure she will. Because there's probably a lot of information we can get from her. There's more we can learn about Lawrence. Born 1816, is the son of Celine Sullivan and Jensen Sullivan II, and is the current patriarch of the notable Sullivan family. Lawrence Sullivan IV was named in honor of his great-grandfather Lawrence Sullivan III, known for his bravery during the coup against Emperor Leopold the Bold. With recent changes in the political and economic climate of Tsar, the family's influence has diminished significantly, and Sullivans can be found working in finance, the arts, and even commerce. Mr. Sullivan held no interest in pursuing a political career, opting instead to pursue his passion for the performing arts. Thanks to a series of connections within the industry, his first opera made its debut in 1918, titled Crossing. Lawrence took a risk hiring a diverse, yet still inexperienced cast. The risk paid off as the play was a major success, kickstarting many notable careers such as those of Olivia Carmine, who played the lead female role. Since then, Lawrence was lauded within the industry for his ability to find and pick the right talent during production. He also boasts he has an excellent working relationship with famous playwright Gail de Winter. In 1928, Mr. Sullivan announced he would retire after his latest and final work, Dalliance, premiering at the Maverick Opera House in Bukovi. Okay. And Reese. Reese Kenred, born in 1901, is a citizen of Bukovi. They are listed as an employee at the Maverick Opera House, fulfilling the role of prop master. Still says they. I think this confirms Reese is non-binary. During their 2 years of employment at the Maverick, they were credited for their role in a variety of plays, though not much else is known about them. The last entry is through the premiere of Dalliance. Alright. That'll do it. Didn't really learn anything new, but, you know, doesn't hurt to check, I suppose. Let's talk to Lawrence. Ah, finally! I thought I'd have to sit here an eon. Good evening, Lawrence. I'm in dire need of a invigorating conversation and a drink. I hope you can provide both. We got 3 actions. Let's maybe do a topic or 2, and then maybe present a clue or something. Tell me about Dalliance. Dalliance was the culmination of my life's work, my magnum opus. I worked for years, selecting scripts, assembling my perfect cast, and securing the funding and support I needed to craft my masterpiece. So now it's over. Will you retire? Bah, of course not. Because of the accident, it did not have a full run, and I'm on sabbatical. I need time to regroup and regain my equilibrium. My creative juices need to percolate once more, preferably in schnapps or absinthe. Announcing anything as final will have the masses rush to the booths to purchase tickets. I was there when Lawrence Sullivan IV's final work premiered. That's genius. Woo. I'm glad you think so, and even better, when I eventually announce my comeback, the effect doubles. After all these years, he's back. I simply must see it. Don't get me wrong, Dalliance isn't like any other play I've produced in the past. It's a celebration of what led me here in the first place. Elaborate. Gladly. My first ever credited production was in the world of opera known as Crossing. You know all about it, of course. Absolutely. Literally, we're making such progress in affection just by acting like a fan. When planning Dalliance, it was imperative to me that I reassemble as much of the original cast of Crossing as possible. Ooh. As such, I went out of my way to recruit both Olivia Carmine and Stavros Stone, who played the leads of Crossing at the time. I was also lucky to pick up Effia DeVos again, an integral part of the team. Effia? Oh yes, does that surprise you? She does look quite young for her age, doesn't she? My plan came together quite wonderfully, the beginning and the end. Alpha and Omega. Oh well, I suppose it was a wonderful plan until the tragedy struck Stavros. I see. Could an enemy have tried to sabotage the alliance? An enemy? Who in the world would consider me an enemy? I just thought. Well, I suppose I can think of one, or maybe two, now that you mention it. Like? Well, there's Artemis Godolphin, the theater critic. That fat old queen never did warm to my work. Talentless heck. Then there's Carmelia Simone. She was a falsetto who could break a crystal glass with her voice and break the hearts of every wife whose husband she seduced. That woman was voracious and vicious. When I chastised her, she threatened to burn down the rehearsal studio. Oh, and of course there's my old rival, Marcus van Carstein, the 8th Duke of Hanovera. Never did like me or my family. His father and my father had a blood feud, and as their sons, Marcus and I were expected to continue the feud. Yeah, right. Neither of us had the stomach for blood, though, so instead we sent a list of increasingly savage letters to one another. I once called his suit horror awful. Horror awful? It means horrible and awful at the same time. Of course. And I suppose my ex-wife Mariana might wish specific harm upon me. And I know this because she sent me a letter. What did it say? I wish you specific harm. You have a lot of enemies. Yes, well, if you're not upsetting anyone with what you say, you're not saying anything at all. Okay. I kind of want to present some clues. Maybe. Let's go with this one. Time and place. What an awful tragedy. I really can't imagine any of my staff would do something so diabolical. Are you certain these are the only possible culprits? I'm afraid the facts seem to point in that direction. Oh my, well at least Olivia's obviously blameless in this dreadful scenario, so that's one name off the list. No need to thank me. I wasn't about to. But for why? Why is her name off the list? Okay, well. Let's talk to Effia. Welcome back, Effia. This would be a nice place to find a quiet corner right in my notebook. Good ambiance. Let's see. We got 4 actions. You were listed as a stagehand on Alliance. Can I ask you about the accident? I suppose so. I have nothing to hide. What access to the prop room? I mean, Reese, obviously, and a few other stagehands. Stavros didn't enter the prop room during the intermission because he was ushered away to have his makeup redone by Lawrence. Although... I did see Stavros at the prop table before the actual show. Interesting. What did we get here? Stavros did not enter the prop room during the intermission as he was ushered away to have his makeup redone by Lawrence. Did see Stavros at the prop table just before the show. Okay. Interesting. What else do we want to talk about? What can you tell me about Reese? Why? Are you going after them? Just asking. Reese is good at their job and doesn't suffer fools. I like that. Sure, they're not a beam of sunshine and they don't play the game, but that kind of professionalism and detachment is something that shouldn't be held against them. Reese often had flaming rows with Olivia over her lack of professionalism and general disregard for the work they delivered as a prop master. Ooh. I think Olivia respected Reese, maybe, but Reese had no time for divas. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Let's see, 2 actions left. Let's see. Let's ask about the time and place. That seems like sound reasoning. Are you playing amateur detective? I'm just curious. I can't blame you for that, but I can blame you for prying into people's private affairs, so don't. Ooh, well. Dang. How about that? Acting? acting? Now there's a window into my past. Well, I might not look it these days, but yes, I was once an actor. Oh, sad music. The life didn't fit me. I'm not quite petite enough, not quite demure enough, not quite discreet enough. And I never had quite the right look for the casting directors. Funny that. I didn't get my breakthrough, though I always picked up enough work to keep the dream alive, barely. What happened? What little hope I did have of getting the leading role was snuffed out when I did the stupidest thing a woman like me could do. Oh? I tried to help someone. Stavros was pursuing me romantically while dating Olivia. In my naivete, I thought his desperate, wretched advances would be shameful when brought into the light. It didn't work out. No, men like him don't feel shame. The system protects them so they never have to feel anything at all. This time the system was represented by one Lawrence Sullivan IV. I came to Lawrence in confidence and told him about Stavros' behavior. I also sent an anonymous letter to Olivia to tell her she was being played for a fool. Is that why they broke up? When the system moves against you, it's very fast and it's very effective. What Lawrence did at the time seemed cruel and personal, but now I understand things a little better. I see his actions for what they really were. What were they? The predictable outcome of challenging power, and the power to create wealth. When you have none, Stavros held power and brought in the money. All I had was show some nerve and a sense of justice. The system doesn't care about that. You get rolled over, crushed. The next day I was locked out of rehearsals. The items from my locker were in a box by the garbage. Everyone walked right past me. It was like I was a stranger to people I'd known for years. They'd all been warned to stay away from me. Oh my god, protecting shitty men in Hollywood. Wow, we've never seen that before. Ooh. Oh, we got our motive. And just like that, I was out in the cold. Lawrence fired me to protect Stavros, and my acting career was over. That's awful. It's the past. That's why I changed career and found my own way. And that's why I started the Melodic Wire, too, but that's a whole other discussion. I can't spend all my money on cocktails. Time for me to get home. Oh boy. Efia's motive. She had been an actor on Crossing until Stavros came onto her rather aggressively. When she spoke to Lawrence about this, she was quietly fired and urged to keep silent as Stavros' career was deemed more important than hers. What a shit. Lawrence, I didn't like you, but I tolerated you. Now you just suck. Damn. Elena, I got some things. Hey, girl, hey. I got a motive. It's a sad tale, and one I've certainly heard before. Too many powerful men in this industry think themselves untouchable beyond reproach for their misdeeds, and they are continuously proven right by directors and producers that shield them from the consequences of their actions. Well, not in this case, I suppose. It would certainly be understandable for Miss DeVos to hold a grudge over the impact Stavros' actions had on her career, but is it enough to commit murder? She found her own path to success in the end. You may want to run this one by people that know her well, then and now. Who knows her well? Maybe Reese? Hands on the table? Yeah, let's ask her what she thinks about this one. Very good, considering what we knew from the outset about when the weapon must have been planted. That seems to rule out Stavros as a suspect. Seems a bit obvious considering he's the victim. There's nothing obvious about it. No part of a criminal investigation is redundant, dear. You should always do your due diligence. If he had been at the prop table during the intermission, he could have planted that weapon as easily as anyone else. We'd have to consider him a suspect. Lucky for us, he was only there before the show. Not lucky for him, though. Boof. Okay, so we got our 3 suspects. Are we going to get a 4th? I really don't know. Don't know. Butting heads, maybe? Let's ask her about this. Flaming rows behind the scenes? Where was Lawrence in all of this, I wonder? It would have been his responsibility to watch out for this kind of thing. True! Lawrence just dropping the ball everywhere. As you know, yeah, okay. Should get back to work? Do I want to ask Hugo about the shit I found? Oh, he's in a bad mood. Detective. What do you want? I'm very busy right now. That's right, we found out his middle name. You know, I never pictured you as a Nestor detective. Hugo's face immediately turns bright red upon hearing his middle name. He doesn't remain flustered for long, however, and his embarrassment turns to consternation. I'm not sure how you missed this fact, bartender, but I'm not a man known for his sense of humor or patience. Sorry, Hugo. I told you not to dig into this case, and you decided to dig into me and my personal background instead. While I commend you on your ability to gather and collect information, my admiration is lessened by how trivial the information is. Let us move beyond these immature playground games. I'm in no mood to be mocked today or ever. Apologies, Detective Mertens. Let's see. So can you talk about the case at all? To my partner, yes. You're not my partner. You don't have a partner. That's correct. And why would you want to get involved anyway? Is it not better to keep your nose clean? I wanted to help. Look, I still need the bar. I still need the customers here, relaxed and with their guard down. Do what you do best. Make drinks and make casual conversation, and let me do my job. Do you want 10 lays worth of free advice? Avoid Elena Ernest. Why? Elena is a liability. The press are swarming once again. This is somehow an even bigger media circus than the Dragos murder. An opera star stabbed on stage in front of an audience. By the goddess, crimes don't come more high profile than this. This is my big chance to show that I'm where I'm supposed to be. To show all those doubters in the precinct that I am the man for this job. And that is exactly what I intend to do. Why are you so quiet, bartender? What are you scheming? It's nothing. Yes, well, very good. Huh. Don't most detectives work with partners? Yes. So? I told you already, I will not be working with you on this case. What about another police officer? Yes, well, that is a rather sore point, so thank you very much for bringing that up. Sorry. Please forgive me, I'm on edge. Your question is a reasonable one. The Bukovi Constabulary is a competitive environment filled with overly ambitious young men who will pat you on the back one moment and stab you in it the next. There are too many people just like me. And I don't want to work with someone just like me. I want someone reliable, steady, and perhaps, if I am honest, someone who is better with people. That's not my strongest area. So yes, I could have a partner. I could even choose to deputize a member of the public to help me, as you know. But right now, I have to do this alone. I get it. The truth is, I had a partner once. Trevelyan? We'll go with Trevelyan was his name. Handsome fellow, smooth talker, ambitious like me, but charismatic too. Ah, yes, see about charisma. What happened to him? He was my first partner and I was his. After we were assigned to the same district, we embraced. When we filed our first arrest, it was like winning a grand prize. It seemed like nothing could stop us. But the truth is, he outshone me. He leapfrogged me for a promotion, and now he's dating the commissioner's daughter. When I say hello to him in the station corridor, he doesn't even look at me. Wow. Damn. Don't worry about me, bartender. There was a lesson in it for me. There's a lesson there for you too if you want to hear it. Sure. I let Trevelyan take the lead, take the glory. I became a sidekick, a side character in my own life because I thought his success was our success. So I coasted on his achievements and didn't push myself to reach my true potential. A clever young woman once said, never dim your star to let another shine brighter. She was right. Oh, that was from Alina! R.I.P., babes. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think so. Good, let's get back to our respective jobs. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm totally not looking into this, but I found somebody's motive. Teehee. I thought I told you not to go digging into my case, bartender, and here you are presenting me with an entire tragic backstory. How do you even manage to unearth this sort of stuff? I'm just a bartender. People just say things. I just listen. Can we just discuss the motive? Fine, if what you're telling me is true, it's revenge, the oldest motive in the book. I still have my doubts. Stavros may have been a pig, but surely Lawrence behaved just as poorly in this situation. And how would she have even pulled this off? I'll keep digging. Let's ask about hands on the table. Sure. I warned you about investigating on your own. Stop wasting both of our time with this pointless tittle-tattle. Sorry. Wow! Address one man by his middle name and suddenly he's all pissy. Well, bye then. Fucking...
Bye, bitch!
I'll go back to work then. Anyway, let's go ahead and end the day. Hopefully we can make some connections by now. Kitty. Okay, let's see. Butting heads. Hands on the table. Call back Effie's motive. I don't know if there's anything else we can connect right now. No. Beach. Okay, fine. Dang. Doing kind of bad at my job right now. I mean, that's not my job. My actual job, you know, I'm still not so swell at. You know. Oh, who's here? Oh. He's in a bad mood. Oh, so am I. I still don't see Peter. Damn it. A tired, annoyed, and visibly frustrated Hugo Mertens enters the speakeasy. He grabs the stool roughly and wrestles it into position. He sighs deeply, a sound that comes not from his throat, but from the depths of his soul. His piercing eyes finally meet yours, and you see a desperate plea for help. Oh, now do you want my help, sir? Still abstinent, detective? After everything I've been through these past few days, absolutely not. Just give me the strongest drink you have on the menu right now. If it kills me outright, at least I won't have to deal with these theater people anymore. Really? Like the strongest drink? Bestie, I give you the strongest drink, you're gonna be on the floor. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can. A drink, detective? Maybe just one more for old time's sake. Yeah, his alcohol tolerance ain't not that high. I could give him one of these. I feel like that's not gonna be a good idea. We could try it though. Ooh, we never made one of these before. Now I'm curious. He's probably gonna pack it up and say he has to go home though. He said the strongest drink we have. I oblige. Oh, when I asked you to make it strong enough to kill me, I was joking. You get what you asked for in this bar, detective. Hugo quickly downs the rest of his drink. He does not savor the taste, nor does he shudder from the sudden hit of alcohol. So how are things going, Hugo? How do you think, bartender? I can't talk about anything with that damn producer Lawrence Sullivan without him rambling on and on about his insufferable family and legacy. He's right over there. He could probably hear you. The props master Reese barely speaks, and every word they say drips with contempt. The feeling is mutual at this point. And Effie, the stagehand, dances around me with her labyrinthian vocabulary. Labyrinthian means like a maze. She taught me that. She shouldn't be so arrogant. I'm speaking my third language after all. Is there a law written somewhere that all amateur writers have to be so full of themselves? Probably scribbled on a notepad, yeah. All the while, Olivia Carmine has still not responded to my summons for a testimony. They say if you look at something long enough, you fall in love with it. I might as well consider proposing to her manager because that's all I see every time I try to reach that woman. With that final complaint, the tension finally seems to leave Hugo's body. The alcohol and the act of venting his frustration are having an effect. This has been one hell of a week. Sounds like going solo has been rough. Yes, well, it has not been a fair challenge for a single man to take on by himself. I feel like I've been set up to fail. You chose this. Why am I telling this to you of all people? How about you go back to playing with your liquor bottles while I go back to interviewing these buffoons and solving this case, Sure. With reluctance, Hugo gets up from the stool, slightly swaying as the alcohol hits him. Godspeed, Hugo. Hold on. You said, make him the strongest drink. I did. Anyway, let's over here. Hey there, hello again. Remember me? We helped the man who was stabbed on stage at the opera. You yelled at me. Of course I remember you. Hard not to. I can't say I blame you for trying to help, even though you were useless. Most of the audience just sat there gawping. I know it was bold of me to act, but I can't help but worry I may have, made things worse. You didn't make things better or worse. You didn't really do much of anything, but a wound like that was always going to be fatal, so don't worry about it too much. I see, poor guy. Did you lose your job because of my stunt? Reese almost smiles. I was fired, of course, but that had nothing to do with you. Sorry to hear that, old fellow. I mean, sorry to hear that, friend. Killian's correcting himself. He wants to be polite and respectful of Reese being non-binary. Dang it, Killian, stop making me like you. What are you going to do now? I haven't decided yet. My skills are in demand, of course, and my reputation hasn't taken too much of a knock. I'm free to choose my own path now. A look of disbelief flashes across Killian's face. You can't tell whether he's confused or realizing something. Just like that? Aren't you nervous about security? Money? What about your reputation? It's just a job at the end of the day. I suppose so. I haven't really ever had a job. They're very helpful when you need money to buy food, pay your rent, and buy books. Consider getting one. Or if you don't need work, maybe get a hobby. Maybe. Yes, maybe I will. Oh god. Is Killian gonna go out and try to find his life's purpose? Well, let's check in with our favorite gays. Hey, Bjorn. Hey, buddy. Okay, let's get you a drink. Shake, 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 shake it. Oh god, really aging myself there with that reference. Ooh, forget I did that. Tastes like the angels share, and Scotia, that's the best bit of whiskey barrel. Lovely. Alright. Did you know Stavros? Sorry, but I think I'd rather talk about something else, so I've had a few drinks. Let's see if we get... Oh, he needs to be drunk. Okay. Come back tomorrow. I'll get you wasted. Should we get back to work then? Oh, he did... Oh, he did mention before, like, one of his old co-workers or something recently died. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together. It didn't occur to me that maybe that was Stavros. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, Lucas. Hey, guy. He's my old favorite. Is no longer on the menu. Did we figure out his new favorite? Perhaps. Oh, we did. Yay. Wee. Okay. Ooh. Did you hear about the embargo on Jane and coffee? Hear about it? I'm living it. Since trying those beans, no other coffee will do. So without them, I am positively deprived. I've had a caffeine headache for a week. But you've not been drinking any. Exactly. When you stop taking caffeine and you're accustomed to drinking a lot of coffee, you get a withdrawal effect. Headaches, lethargy, and malaise. How many coffees do you drink? A week? Perhaps 56! That's like 8 coffees a day. Isn't it? I can do basic math, can't I? Yeah, that's 8 coffees a day. Damn, dude. That's 8 coffee. Oh, I could have been real bad with math there. Very good. Do you want to work with me at the bank? My manager would need an adding machine to calculate that. Not the sharpest anymore. I totally didn't have to double check my work with a calculator. That's not a thing that happened. Y'all can't prove it. That's a lot of coffee, though. It is indeed, and without it I'm finding my focus, my energy, my ability to survive the day is much reduced. Well, if something is worth doing, it's worth overdoing. I applaud the spirit of the sentiment, and for anything other than coffee, I would advise moderation. But my heart drips black and beats slower without my beloved dark beverage. My word, I sounded just like Reese there. Oh, you know Reese? Are you two friends? We met in the Gothic section of Libraria. I am friends with anyone who shares coffee and conversation, especially if they also loan me the very best, most chilling, macabre horror novels. Business, yes, okay. Well, then in that case, do you know anything about this? Reese butting heads with Olivia? That certainly tracks with what Reese has told me. Can you blame them? I know the performing arts are about spontaneity, but Reese values a structured, well-organized workspace, as do I. Miss Carmine is a radiant, charming woman that I am always happy to chat with, but I am not sure I'd be so happy to work with her. Interesting. Well, let's go on and get back to work. Perhaps let's maybe ask Reese about the backstage fights? Evening, Reese. Let's see, what sort of drinks do you like? Something cold and bitter and dark as night, of course. I thought that would have been obvious. Don't judge a book by its cover, I always say. That's good, because I was only joking. I'd like something fresh and not too strong, please. Maybe a little sweet. I think we fucked up last time, didn't we? Did we? I don't remember. Oh no, we got it exactly. Hey, you know what? Reese and Killian can bond over their favorite drink because it's the same one. Ha 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 ha. Okay. God, so many things we want to talk about. What went wrong with the dagger at the premiere? The dagger did what it was supposed to do. Kill. Look, I already left my statements with the police. I prefer not to leave them with a bartender I barely know. Reese's attitude is cold and guarded. It seems they don't trust you quite yet. Didn't mean to pry. Ooh. Oh, we need the first level of affection, and we are just barely not there. Can I talk to you about something? Do you have any hobbies? Vampires. Oh. Vampires. But why? I am a member of a club that discusses and investigates such fascinating and macabre phenomena. Doing so is my hobby, and my current fascination is blood-sucking fiends. Why vampires? Why not? What could be more fascinating than pale creatures of the night skulking around after midnight, stalking helpless, wayfish maidens and feckless young men who cannot fathom the depths of a deathless creature's remorseful yet passionate despair? Huh? Who could pretend indifference to the concept of a fallen eternal monster, a beast consumed by its lustful desire to prey on the innocent and the pure? That is fascinating. Dang it! I was hoping that would lead to just a little bump in the relationship. I'm glad you agree. Not everyone in Bukovi shares our fascination with tales and stories, true or otherwise, of macabre beasts and dark deeds by moonlight. Fighting evil by moonlight. So vampires are real? Who am I to say? There are certainly enough stories, rumors, and whispers mixed with superstition to create an uncertain but delicious cocktail. Right. Sigh, do not give me that look. I'm accustomed to it. Sorry. Oh. Yes. Don't take me for a fool. I know fantasy from reality, and I know which I find more enticing. Nosferatu are simply my creatures of interest at the moment. Are they real or interesting stories? Is there some element of truth and mythology? In all our tales of macabre horror, is there not an element of universal primal fear and therefore authenticity at the root? I think so. When we read stories, especially tales of horror, we create new memories, but memories of things which did not happen. How dull would our lives be if only the memories we had were of things we had seen, people we had met, and places we had been? Stories let us go beyond ourselves, to remember the lives of others, real and imagined, and to bask in their experiences. And right now the experiences I want to read about are vampires. I hope I have made some kind of sense to you. I understand. Yes, I think you do. Oh, okay, now we can talk about the dagger. We only have 2 actions left, unfortunately, so I don't think we'll be able to go over everything I want to go over with them today. I suppose there's no harm in telling you what I told the police. Who knows? Perhaps you won't be as obsessed with how the dagger killed Stavros. The real question is, how was the dagger modified? Ooh. Go on. I recognized my own handiwork immediately. The dagger was a prop that I personally fashioned, with retractable mechanism and all. Both the weight and appearance have been carefully taken into account so the actor can perform the most convincing delivery during the scene. It has to feel real so the performance feels real as well. Any amateur could have sharpened it like some common kitchen knife, but I'd have noticed that right away. No, Their adjustments were more precise than that. Even a blunt knife can do a surprising amount of damage when thrust with enough force. Ordinarily, the blade on this dagger retracts fully into the hilt, but if that mechanism fails, well, I'm sure you can imagine the outcome. Yeah, the outcome kinda happened. I built the dagger with a safety to prevent jamming, which I oil and test daily. Someone managed to sabotage it in such a way that the blade only locks in place when great force is applied, which, sadly, I don't typically do. So whoever did it knew what they were doing. Oh. So maybe that would... Oh. Oh, I had a thought. So that might explain why Olivia didn't get hurt. If she, you know, didn't use enough force in the stabbing. But Elena mentioned something about how Stavros then would not be deemed responsible for his own death because he wasn't seen at the prop table at intermission, only before the show. I wonder if Stavros is going to be our fourth suspect. Like, some sort of... either like accident or related, or... I don't know, maybe he was trying to get Olivia to kill herself. Ooh. Yes, metalworking experience would be essential to tamper with the dagger in this way. Oh my god. Oh my god. And if Stavros was Bjorn's old co-worker... I think I figured it out. I think I literally just figured it out. Even though I don't have really all the clues to put it together in-game yet, probably. I think that's it. Stavros had to have been the one to tamper with the dagger. I don't know exactly for why. My guess is because he wanted what happened to him on stage to happen to Olivia. Because they have that bad past where they used to date and all that. Fascinating. Well, let's see. Do we have any clues? Oh yeah, let's ask about them butting heads with Olivia. You can hardly blame me. One can only tolerate so many Easter egg hunts trying to locate props that were carelessly discarded all over the set before losing one's patience. She didn't respect me, my work, or my time. So why would I respect her? The way I see it, you earn that sort of thing. I always knew Lawrence would take Olivia's side, but I'd sooner die than bite my tongue. Take her side? Nothing, it doesn't matter now. I've moved on. I'm never sure what kind of what? Did Lawrence take Olivia's side or try to, like, protect her in the same way he did Stavros? Or something? Let's ask about this. Effia was right. I didn't see Stavros at the prop table either during the performance, although I'll admit I was not as vigilant as I perhaps could have been. Say what you want about Stavros, but he was always very responsible with his props. I didn't have to watch him like a hawk. Huh. Interesting. Well, Killian. Hey, buddy. Let's get you a drink. I don't even know if there's anything we really need to talk to Killian about. Oh, how's the job hunt going? Dreadful, but thanks for asking, I guess. Not bad, huh? I've been browsing employment opportunities for months, and I can barely get a single interview. Did you send many applications? You've no idea how hard it is to find job openings that sound interesting, that my parents wouldn't throw a fit over, and that I feel I'd be any good at. In fact, I haven't really found any. Perhaps time to settle for 2 out of 3? Maybe. Maybe I could ask Reese for advice. They're also looking, with greater success than I, it seems. I do envy them, you know, not getting involved in a murder investigation and getting sacked and all that, but having found their thing, their way in life, knowing what they're good at and what they're worth. All I know is I'm not good at anything. Isn't there something you're passionate about? Oh, I don't know. The only thing I have an eye for is pretty things, but I don't have the makings of a painter or a seamster or a sculptor. I'm too impatient, too easily distracted. Don't like getting my hands dirty either. I suppose I have enjoyed a bit of photography. Ooh. I bought myself a Canon Insta last year. Spent a rather enjoyable summer with it too, snapping pictures of pretty girls and sunsets and street corners. And pretty girls on street corners. Okay, well, maybe take pictures of things other than girls without their consent. I'm just saying. It's probably rubbish, though. I don't know. I felt too embarrassed to actually show anyone. I just did it because it was fun. Not much to go on, is it? If you enjoy it, it's worth pursuing. Okay. So, let me think. Yeah, I don't think Killian is going to be a whole lot of help here. They barely know Rhys at all, and everyone else even less. Okay, bye, Killian. Good luck, my guy. Gosh, it would really be a whole lot of help if Olivia ever showed up. Hi, Lawrence. What sort of drink do you like? Did I not tell you last time, or are you looking for a drink that utterfully defines me? Of course. Very well, what I want is excellent craftsmanship, a drink that shows ambition, passion, a drink that makes one weep with its many complexities, something strong yet bitter, warm yet frosty. Strong yet bitter, warm yet frosty. And something complex. Maybe a one-night stand. Let's try that. Oop. There we go. Fingers crossed, maybe? Oh. Okay, you know... At least he's drunk! Let's see, what was working with Olivia and Stavros like? If I can be frank with you, my friend, very much like trying to mix oil with water. As I'm a veteran in this wonderful industry, I've seen my fair share of clashing egos and divas storming off in a huff. These experiences pale in comparison to what was going on between Stavros and Olivia. They managed to keep things somewhat civil, in my presence at least. It was always very tense, though. Ooh, if Effie is to be believed, however, she heard both leads in a shouting match, spouting colorful profanity at each other not too long ago. Ooh, so they do still have bad feelings towards each other. Don't look into this too much, dear friend. It is all quite common in the industry. I'd be more unnerved if there wasn't any backstage drama. Alright, thanks. Okay. Oh, that was an affection question. I don't want to hear about his other plays. I don't care all too much about his retirement. If we run out of things to ask him about, like clues and stuff, then I'll ask him about those things, but I feel like there are more pressing matters. Let's ask about butting heads with Rhys. The situation with Kilrid? Yes, it's all quite unfortunate, isn't it? What's going on with them exactly? Arculum's razor, my good bartender. I don't think that's saying, but okay. The simplest conclusion is always the right one. I don't think that's quite... It was not easy for me to let them go. I really did lose sleep over it, but I'm willing to make sacrifices. Such is the responsibility of a producer. So you fired Rhys. Must you use such crude terminology? Did I shoot someone from a cannon? Did I fire a bullet in someone's heart? No. It was a simple matter. The constant arguments between Rhys and Olivia about professionalism forced my hand, I'm afraid. The Alliance relied on a core troop of 4 creative geniuses. Rhys was not part of that group, and to ensure Olivia's collaboration in the future, I could not risk anyone dispelling our magical creative chemistry. Not even Rhys, an otherwise skilled prop manager. They were informed that once the Alliance completed its run, they would be released from their contract. I could not in good conscience give them a positive reference, but I wouldn't blacklist them either. A very difficult decision, but not an unusual one for a producer to make. Part of my job is to protect the talent. The labor is a big part of the show, but the talent is of the highest import. Oh yeah, we know you a fucker when it comes to protecting your talent. I see. Any other clues? Let's ask about this. Yeah, Stavros by the prop table. Why, yes, that is correct. I sent him to the makeup chair at once. Hercule has no need for props in the second act, and he was looking dreadfully pale. To be expected, perhaps, with the stress of opening night and his grand soliloquy coming up, but rather unbecoming for the sun-kissed Adonis he was meant to be portraying. I see. Okay. What about Effie's motive, maybe? Yeah, let's ask about that. Hey, Lawrence, you a shithead. Oh, come on now, bartender. I don't see why you must bring up old gossip from a bygone era. You're blowing all of this terribly out of proportion, I assure you. You destroyed her acting career. Well, yes, I suppose it does sound bad when you phrase it like that, but what choice did I have? Stavros was my star. His career as an actor showed great promise, much more than hers did. Oh god, that's a big paragraph of text. I couldn't risk destroying all that with a public scandal, could I? Was that appropriate punishment for a brief wandering of the heart? And of course I had to consider Olivia's feelings in these matters, and how lucrative their public relationship had been for Crossing's ticket sales. No, my back was firmly against a wall, I assure you. It was an unfortunate lose-lose situation, but I do believe I made the best call. I don't think Effie would agree. You don't think actually... Yeah, Effie's... I think she's holding a grudge, maybe. Still holds a grudge after all this time, do you? It's not as if she was banished from the world of theater. Why, I'd say the fact that she has fought at Alliance rather proves that. She was blacklisted the entire time until you asked her back. As a stagehand. Yes, well, it is what it is. I'm torn between these two. Let's go for the nom de plume. You asking me about the identity of Gale de Winter? Lawrence isn't even trying to hide his smugness. He absolutely delights in knowing more than he is saying. Some industry secrets must remain just that, secret. Surely you can appreciate the need for this, running an establishment like a speakeasy. Lawrence seems eager to share information, but wants to be sure you can keep the secret. I do. Oh, fucker. Okay, well, let's ask about this then. Oh, yes, I remember very well. It was quite fortuitous for Crossing indeed. The onstage chemistry was simply explosive, and the press was suddenly very interested in the show. Do you know why they broke up? Olivia never did tell me, but I imagine the novelty just wore off, which is par for the course, really. As common as relationships are in this industry, they usually don't have a long shelf life. I'm guessing it's either because, you know, she talked about her husband's death and saying she would never enter a serious relationship again, or because she found out her man's was a cheating, eye-wandering piece of shit. Well, I guess we talk to Effia now. Hey girl, hey. Welcome back, Effia. What sort of drink would you like? I could go for something tangy, perhaps with a hint of spice. I don't know what has spice. Oh, she didn't like the drama queen. The femme fatale? Oh, is that it? If that's it, I'm gonna shit. That's probably what she meant the whole time, and I'm just dumb. That's what she meant, isn't it? What is this? It's good. I want to make this at home when Prohibition ends. Damn it, I'm dumb. Well, we have a good amount of actions. Whisper? You mentioned the melodic wire. Yes, I did, so I guess you seem trustworthy to me. Don't prove me wrong. I won't. The melodic wire is a whisper network I set up to protect vulnerable people who work in the theater and creative industries. Oh. How does it work? I put out a newsletter once a month. It's for vulnerable people who need to know who to avoid and how to handle dangerous people in the industry. who are the vulnerable people. A lot of women, but not only women. Anyone without power or authority who might be targeted. Like Reese. Is it working? I think so. I get letters from people telling me the newsletter helped them avoid abuse, and sometimes messages from people saying they wish they'd read it sooner. Sounds worthwhile. Thank you, though I wonder if I'm still the right person to run it. Forget I said anything, okay? This is just between us. Let's see. Lawrence said you were once in Crossing? Whoa there, friend. I'm not reliving that period of my life. Those stories are for another time. A drunker time. Say less. I will get you nice and sloshed next time. Okay, let's ask about Reese and Olivia butting heads. Oh, yeah, she gave me that. Fuck, I'm dumb. How about the backstage fight, maybe? Yes, that's what I said. Tensions were high between them the entire production, though. Did Stavros and Olivia fight? Yes, and he told her she was going to get what she deserved. I fucking bet. He sabotaged the dagger to try to kill Olivia. But I guess for some reason she didn't, like, do the stab hard enough, maybe? Ooh, that sounds bad for him. That is bad for him. You should look into that. Veiled threats, huh? Could Olivia have done something in response to such a threat? Let's see. Exit stage left. Yeah, let's ask about this. I don't gossip about my co-workers, certainly not at a time like this. That's not who I am. Take your prying inquiries elsewhere. Oh, sorry. Okay. Well then. Elena. What do you think about Detective Mertens? He wants to stand on his own 2 feet with this case to solve it without any help from you, or me for that matter. It's admirable, but mistaken. He is in over his head, oh yeah. I can already tell this case is a complex one. Even on his best day, it would be too much for him alone. And we both know these are not his best days. You don't think very highly of him? I believe in him more than I should. We may bicker, but I respect Hugo. I hope he finds his feet once more and realizes his initial potential. I hope for it, but I do not expect it. Investigators must be honest, most especially with themselves. I have a soft spot for the hard-working officers who see their own mediocrity and battle to overcome it. In this case, though, Hugo is essential to us. He will be the medium, but we are the message. Our findings, your findings, will be channeled through Hugo to the Bukovi He will legitimize our conclusions. And in the end, Hugo will gain the kudos from his superiors. I will get the stimulation of solving another mystery. What do I get out of this? She gives you a wry smile. Hugo's gratitude and latitude. Ha 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 ha. He will tolerate your bar and even protect it when he sees how valuable it can be. And perhaps there is something I can do to help you with this Carla situation. Oh, you know about my debt? Give me some credit, bartender. I know all about you. And if you help me, I will help you too, as much as I can. You have my word. Oh. Okay. Well then. I don't know if I need to talk to her or Hugo about anything. Hey, while you're shit-faced, any more thoughts on the BPD? Right now, I feel they are a compromised public service, unwilling to give hardworking officers like me the support and resources I need to achieve success, but expecting it nonetheless. Have you always felt this way? No. In truth, I was once very naive. An exemplary officer of the Bukovi PD, the youngest detective, and an outspoken evangelist for the duty, honor, integrity of the Bukovi Constabulary. And now? I once spoke with Elena Ernest about the history of our esteemed PD. She had and has a cynical view of our purpose and our inception. I was once willing to argue with her tooth and nail that she was wrong. I would extol the virtues of our system at length, talk of honor and justice and equality. But the more I see of the force, the more I think these values are just words. No action is behind them. Damn it, bartender, I miss Belgia. I miss a place where everything made sense and there were rules and we followed them. There are too many shades of gray here. Rules we must follow, rules we ignore, rules we don't talk about. Was Belle just so different? Maybe. I don't know. Perhaps the whole world has changed. Sometimes I have this dream, bartender. I should not tell you about it. Maybe another time. About that dream you had. Right. Sometimes I have this dream. Huh, another time is right now. Cool. Sometimes I have this dream, bartender. I probably shouldn't tell you about it, but I will. In my dream, I was on my model train. A tiny man as small as a shot glass. I was riding around and around the track on the back of a locomotive. The little model world was whizzing past. I was content. Suddenly, on a parallel track, my father came past me on another train. It was cold and there was snow on the ground, and his train whistled past me towards a tunnel. The whistling wind and snow was getting worse. He didn't say anything to me. His face was wrapped up in a scarf. He didn't look at me. I could see he was holding a torch. It lit the path ahead, lit up the tunnel when he went inside. And in the dream, I knew he was going ahead to light up a fire in the cold and the dark. And I knew at the end of the tunnel on the other side, if there was another side, he'd be waiting for me. That was my dream. Are you okay, Hugo? He shakes his head distractedly, then licks his lips like he wants to say more, but his features darken, and he relaxes his shoulders. I'm fine. I'm done with the subject. Let's move on. Oh, buddy. Do I want to ask Hugo about anything? He's not being the most helpful. You think I'm unaware that those two squabbled? Olivia clashed with rather a lot of people from what I've gathered. Sorting through all of their petty drama at work is shaving years off my life as it is. I don't need your input on this. The one Effia mentioned sounds serious. Then I'm sure I'll get to hear all about it before long. It won't be from you. Okay, well, fuck you. I am trying to help and do your job for you because you are failing. Well, I guess that'll do it for today. I'm losing it. Okay, what do we got? Let's see. Maybe combine these two? Nope. Veiled threats? Nope. Maybe we just... it feels like we have a lot of clues. We haven't been able to make any connections yet. I mean, we do have a motive and evidence. That's sort of all we got for right now, though. Yay. Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Oh. A prim-looking woman takes a seat. She looks around the bar with keen interest, taking in every detail. Peter is still not here. What the fuck? Is he not gonna be here? Wait until she's done. After a few more seconds, her eyes go over all the neatly stacked bottles behind you before finally her gaze meets yours. The inquisitive look changes to a polite, slightly embarrassed smile. Sorry, I've never been to an illegal bar before. Wow, everything looks so different from what I expected. What exactly were you expecting? The articles I've read on alcohol consumption in Bukovi mostly mention seaside pubs filled with salty sailors drinking foaming ale, and fancy hotel bars serving cocktails to aristocrats. We're aiming for something more refined? I can definitely tell. The decor, ambiance, and style all seem carefully selected to ensure a feeling of class while remaining subtle enough to make everyone feel welcome. A bit formal there, but sounds good. Who are you? Thank you. I've always found it hard to sound natural when I speak. Lots of facts and too much information. That's why my job is kind of perfect for me, though. It's all information all the time. The polite smile remains, but the girl's eyes twinkle mischievously as she waits for realization to dawn on you. Ilya? I told you I would come visit. I was curious and wanted to see who had been using the stack at this place. Oh my gosh, she actually visited! Holy shit! And of course I never had a proper cocktail before, so I'm quite excited to try one. You never had a cocktail? In school, I was taught that alcohol was bad for you, so I avoided it most of my life. One of my friends is always telling me I need to learn to let loose. Well, look at me now, Marjorie. Issues with that name. It's good to try new things. I used to struggle a bit when it comes to nuance, but my colleagues at the archives are very helpful. Now I understand how enjoying a vice in moderation can broaden one's vision. So what would you like to try? Gosh, I'm not quite sure what to order. What sort of flavors do you usually enjoy? This kind of reminds me of back when Ben was in cigar sales. Like, that's how he would approach people, and I guess now even when he works at the cigar shop to new customers coming in. Like, he asks people, like, what sort of flavors do you enjoy? Do you like something more mild, more strong? Like, trying to pinpoint what people might be into, you know? I find sweet things very comforting. I'm not sure yet how well I can tolerate alcohol, though. Is that helpful? Well, let's see. You place a glass in front of Ilya. While she tries to remain composed, her eyes sparkle with a hint of excitement. Ready for your first drink? Please, go easy on me, as they say. Oh gosh, I want it to be real good. My first thought is the mint punch. But then that would be 3 people that have the mint punch as their favorite drink. That seems like a lot. We can try it. See how it goes. Maybe she'll like it. Please like it, please like it. This is her first cocktail. I don't want her to be disappointed. This makes my cheeks feel warm. I was worried I might not like this, but it tastes nice. It's not often I have the opportunity to explore places like this in the evening. I could get used to this. Who is currently operating the stack now? I encourage you to find that out. First-hand resources and personal experience are so much less subjective than discussions over alcohol. This was all very nice. I look forward to future conversations, either on the stack or in person. I don't get out much, obviously, but I'm gonna come back eventually. Bye, Ilya. That was so neat! Oh, we actually finally met Ilya! Oh, we didn't give her her favorite drink. Damn it. Okay, well, let's listen in. Mr. Floer, good evening to you. Yes, indeed. Good evening to you, Mr. Johansson. I entrust you're enjoying the nightcap? Ah, it's grand. You can't beat a place where you can get a good bevy, especially if it didn't cost ye a small fortune. I'm terribly sorry, I must confess. I struggle with the dialect at times. I'm not sure I understood much of what you said. Oh, sorry about that. After a few drinks, the accents get stronger. I'm used to talking slow and clear for people in Sara, but I forget myself after a few. I'll mind myself from now on. Oh, don't worry at all. Some colloquial flavor adds to the multicultural ambiance. Ah, right. You know, the influx of foreigners has made many of my contemporaries nervous. They worry that having so many new people in the city will dilute our culture, but I think skilled workers are essential. You work in a smelter, correct? Not in the smelter, Mr. Floer. That would be way bit too hot. But I work with sheet metal, aye. An essential job for Saran infrastructure and logistics, I assume. Your friend, Lucas, has a vital job in the bank. Finance is also essential to the future success and prosperity of Sara. Aye. So you're both contributing to the future of the country, to different degrees, obviously. Tell me, what is your family like back in Scotia? Are your mother and father still alive and together? My dad's dead. My mother is away with the fairies. She's not quite right in the head. She has some trouble thinking clearly, but she's still my mother, you know. I do. Look, Mr. Floer, I can see you are wary of me. You're worried I might cause a bother in your lovely bar, and you're keeping an eye on Lucas, making sure he's not falling in with a bad crowd. But I keep my nose clean. Lucas deserves more than just someone who keeps their nose clean, Mr. Johansson. He deserves the very best company. Well, he's not getting the best, Mr. Floer. Not the most refined, most charismatic, literate, smartest. Certainly not the richest, but with me he has the most loyal, honest, gentle, and I don't know what else to say. No need to say anything more, Mr. Johansson. I will take you at your word and keep my eye on you to make sure you live up to it. Fair enough. Aww. Hey, Bjorn! Yeah, I heard you had a few. Let's get you a few more, huh? We need to get him drunk. So that would be, a 6? 6 or higher. Let's try a one-night stand. Don't care if you hate it, you're gonna like it anyway, and tell me what I want to know. It's causing no offense and it's strong enough. This does the trick. Okay, now, did you know Stavros? I knew him. Don't know anything about what happened on stage, though. What's he like? Nice enough. Keeps to himself. Kept to himself. His intricate work on those little metal latches he made in the workshop every day was very fiddly. Not like me with my mallet banging sheet metal. He worked with you? Hey, he worked in the same place as me. Different departments, though. Different type of metal work. Though it was always clear we came from different worlds, too. What do you mean? Put it this way. I once told him I grew up in a basement and often went hungry. He didn't say anything, just stared at me. Fair to say, I don't think he ever lived that way. Interesting. Okay. What was Stavros like? You know, he didn't seem the sort that would enjoy metalwork, but he was quite good at it. Did you talk often? Sure, we would talk between shifts. I wasn't close with him, but he was quiet. But I'd like to help out folk like him. Folk like him? You know, people who've fallen into this way of life. We're not all born to be grafters. Some of us have to learn the craft. He was an outsider, but there's a lot of outsiders in the plant. So I guess that's what he did for the past 10 years, after he stopped acting. He, well, wasn't well liked, and even I didn't warm up to him, not at first. But I don't want to speak ill of the dead. No one deserved that fate, killed on stage like that. Still, I can't shake the feeling he wasn't always honest with me. He held grudges and he would talk about the people who screwed him over. But always in these vague terms. He held a lot of anger in his heart. I'm not sure I want to talk about this much anymore, you know. Lucas has been going on about it all night. I know he can just talk about anything, but for me some subjects just make me too gloomy. Alright. So we got a new clue from him. Working class. Bjorn told me Stavros had worked with him as a metalworker before he was given the opportunity to return to the stage. He mainly worked on foraging and detailing these smaller steel wares and was quite adept at it. I don't think I can combine this with the evidence here, because that's supposed to be evidence against Rhys. Maybe with hands on the table we can combine those? Ooh, we'll have to try that. We gotta talk to people, though. Okay, thank you, Beyond. Actually, wait. Before you go, let's ask about this. Maybe. Sorry, I wouldn't know anything about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for your help. Oh, Lucas isn't here today. Vincent. Hey, buddy. Let's get you a drink. Let me buy you a drink. I still haven't found his favorite yet. He liked the poison drop, but it's not his favorite. He said he likes orange. I don't have anything else with orange. What else does he... Did he say he likes? What sort of drinks do you like? There was no longer red. Up a fondness for olives. Well, I tried that before and you didn't like it. I think we have like one other thing that has olives in it. Which is this. Is this one he didn't like? He didn't like the femme fatale. Alright, let's try the dry war, which is literally just a martini. Just say you want a martini. Don't name it some weird shit. Dry war. Like, there's a war about to break out. Just like, come on. Read the room a little bit, Vincent. I don't know if he makes the... Actually, does Vincent make the menu, or do I? Well, anyway. Delightful stuff. A taste straight from the age of prosperity. Cool. I don't know why I called him over. I don't think I have anything to talk to him about, if I'm being so for real. Does he know anything about the backstage fight? Let's see. If you ask me, Miss Carmine was a saint for putting up with a common bore like that for the sake of her art. Whatever it was about, I'm sure she was in the right. Okay. Well, thank you. Well, Rhys. Here I am again. Evening, Rhys. Let's see. Let's get you a drink. And we did manage to find their favorite. Okay. Let's see. Anything important to talk about? I don't want to ask about the society. how's the job hunt going? It is going, and it is really not any of your business. Reese remains reserved. A bit of alcohol might loosen their tongue, but you should probably be careful not to overdo it. Oh, we need to get them tipsy next time, but not drunk. All right, good to know. Good to know. Let's see, can we ask about... Did they give us this? Oh no, Lawrence gave us this before. Yeah, let's ask about this. Yes, well, it is what it is. It had been clear to me for some time that the Maverick was not going to be where I spent the rest of my career anyway. You're not resentful? Why would I be? The prospect of not having to work with Olivia Carmine again is a balm for any bruised ego. Oh, okay. Don't know if there's anything else I really need to talk to them about. Let's see. A recent fight. Could Olivia have had something? Maybe this? I don't know about you, but I can think of a few things Olivia deserved. A reality check for one thing. But your mind is jumping straight to murder, I imagine? I'm sure I don't imagine he meant an award. If he did threaten to murder her, I'm surprised Stavros himself was the one to end up on the receiving end. Unless... You don't think? That's enough wild speculation for one day, don't you think? I still don't think it was Olivia. There's absolutely no way it was Olivia. I would like to talk to Olivia if she ever shows up. I hope she does. Well, we're doing okay. Still under a week in so far. Where's my boy? I'm not gonna give up on Peter. I want to see him. Let's see. Hopefully now we finally have some connections we can make on the corkboard at least. So we'll go do that. Hopefully that'll get us a little nudge in the right direction. Let's see here. Working class, maybe with that. Oh, damn it! What about with that? Oh! Toolsmith. Stavros was an experienced metalworker and was familiar with the stage prop. If Bjorn is right, Stavros could certainly have sabotaged the dagger if he wanted to. Well, we got something. Hopefully it'll be a good start, and we can maybe talk to some people about it. Who would we talk to, though? Probably not Bjorn. At least I don't think. Saturday. Olivia's here. You recognize the sound of Olivia entering before you even see her. The swish of her long coat and the light clicking of her heels fills the room. In light of recent events, you expect to see tired eyes and unkempt hair, yet Olivia is immaculate as always, her appearance radiating elegance throughout the speakeasy. Good evening to you all! I'm certain you must have missed me. She's in a good mood, what? Hopefully things haven't been too boring in my absence. Olivia, good to see you back. Thank you! My, oh my, I can't wait to discuss this week with you over drinks. Such a harrowing experience, like one of my radio confession stories. Are you alright? Of course I am! Would I come here otherwise? Shall we address the elephant in the room? I know you want to hear about what happened to the Maverick. Absolutely. Perfect! So there I was, performing Penelope's flashback. That's the character I play in Delight. I could really feel it, you know? Her anger, regret, sadness. I embraced it all as I plunged the dagger into my throat. But the emotions that I felt were different from Penelope. Why was that? In my excitement, I had forgotten to take a prop dagger from the table. Fortunately, the goddess smiled upon me. I felt the presence of a dagger in the pocket of my dress. What luck! What? I must have left it there by accident during one of the rehearsals. It was a different dagger she had! I returned it during intermission, but I was unable to escape a snide remark from Reese, the props master. And in the next scene, you picked up a dagger from the table? Precisely. If not for the goddess's protection, I would have used that one on myself. I knew all those prayers would pay off one day. Oh, that's fascinating. Olivia's smile isn't quite right. She's a talented actress. Who knows what she really feels right now? It's a shame the goddess couldn't extend the same mercy to Stavros that she showed me. He is in her embrace now, I am sure of it. Well, I've rambled long enough for one evening, darling. I look forward to visiting you frequently for our regular drinks and chat. A bit of normalcy will do me good, won't you agree? Absolutely. Well, then we'll talk again soon. Oh, new affection level. We'll talk again soon. Toodles. She's not even staying for a drink. She just came by to say, hey, everybody look at me and this horrible thing I went through. So, Olivia used a prop dagger she had left in her dress pocket for the first act of Alliance. She only grabbed the dagger prepared for her on the prop table after the intermission. Okay. So, that, if anything, leads me even more towards Stavros. For whatever reason, oh god, I'm gonna need to ask people about that. Hey Reese, how you doing? Oh, I need to get you tipsy, babes. Okay, let's see. So that would be a 3, no higher than a 5. Let us perhaps do... They might like the poison drop, and that'll get us where we need to be. Tastes like liquid melancholy. Ennui in a glass, not bad. Okay, so, how's the job hunting going? I have a few offers already. I know my worth, and so does any producer with some sense. Well, I had offers. I'm not sure how many of those still stand after all of this drama. Thankfully, I had already been considering a change. I interviewed for a position outside of the theater world 3 days before the premiere. Let's hope they don't read the papers. Wait, you already had an interview before the premiere? Yes, I see. Okay. Which new position did you interview for? Just something in film. The local scene is small, but supposedly quite promising. In truth, though, I have been thinking of moving away from the performing arts entirely. What would you like to do? Something in advertising, perhaps? Model makers are surprisingly in demand in Bukovi. It'd be a lot less cleaning up after entitled divas and a lot more doing my job. Unfortunately, most model makers come with photography skills or a photography partner, at least. Killian likes photography! Unfortunately, I currently possess neither. If I ever do meet a talented photographer or one with the potential to become one, I may yet consider it for the sake of my own sanity. I think Killian has a bit of photography experience. Does he now? Interesting. I may just have to speak to him about that. Not that my hopes are particularly high. Good luck. Oh, I love that for them. Okay. Let's ask about prop collector. Yes. I'm sure someone might consider her behavior to be quirky rather than unprofessional. Presumably someone who doesn't have to work with her daily. Care to elaborate? As I said, the show must go on, and that means accounting for Olivia's inability to keep track of the props she has provided. Thankfully, I took precautions. Like? Simple. I made 3 identical daggers. Ooh. This proved to be providential, as Olivia managed to pocket one and failed to return it during rehearsals. She ended up taking it home before returning it the next day. The night of the premiere, when I noticed she did not pick up a dagger before heading to the stage, I was about to stop her. She might ruin the scene by trying to perform without the prop. I don't know about that. Because before, I think the very first time we met her, she said that she didn't have her prop gun, which I guess now makes sense why she wouldn't have one, and she sang Bang Bang, and everybody loved it. Her light fingers proved to be a boon in the end, as one of the daggers was left in the pocket of her dress. Must be very chaotic working with her. Yes, not a problem I will have in the future, it seems. I see. Okay, so how about Stavros being a toolsmith? It does sound plausible. Handling the material daily for several years would likely result in skills comparable to mine. Okay. The dagger that killed Stavros Stone was one of 3 identical ones Reese had made, as Olivia had the bad habit of misplacing them. She's even taken one home before. Could that have been done on purpose? I don't know about that. We still haven't gotten anything for Olivia. No motive for Reese. No evidence for Effia. No defense for anybody. Well, I guess we just keep on. Let's talk to Effia. Good to see you. Let's ask her about Olivia being a prop fiend, maybe? Okay. Listen. I need help here. I don't see how Olivia's carelessness is any concern of mine, or yours for that matter. Jesus! Ma'am, okay. What's it like being a stagehand? It's a hard job, physical. I was a stagehand in high school for our plays. That's it, yes, and I suppose it's great if you love working with props, backstage, paintings and such. Very fulfilling. What's it like being a bartender? It's hard work and long hours. Well, you make it look easy and fun. You're not... Give me something I can work with here. What about... Yeah, she told me that. Maybe ask about Reese's new prospects? I don't think she's gonna talk about that. I don't gossip. Yes, you're not a gossip. Bye, useless ma'am. Alright, well, Killian, you're up, buddy. I don't think I even can talk to you about anything. Oh! Oh, you made a new friend? Well, not quite, but I do believe Reese is quite impressed with me, and I'm impressed with them too. What a cool head under pressure. Really? I mean, why would they not be impressed by me? I'm refined, charming, quick of wit. As witty as Reese is, I keep up. Okay. I do not expect you to enthusiastically endorse all of these qualities, but you could at least try to keep a straight face. I'm not making a face. Well, this is rather the point of making new friends, isn't it? What do you mean? I mean, all of my old friends and acquaintances seem to think that I'm some witless, stumbling buffoon. Reese does not seem to think that about me. I'm sure of it. That's not true. If I'm to make new friends, perhaps they can get to know a new Killian. I believe every new person you meet creates a new version of you. A new version that they carry in their heads and hearts. And maybe that new Killian is a better Killian. So whether I make friends with Reese or you, or even the handsome girl that works in the bakery next door to the hotel, the one with all that wavy blonde hair, I know that I'll be creating new versions of me. Smarter and better versions, free from my old bad habits. Bad habits lead to late. Maybe. Well, I wouldn't expect you to understand, but trust me, bartender, this is a new Killian you see before you. I shan't be the bumbling, handsome young man you knew before. I shall be more. Okay, well, have a drink then. I don't need to, but I don't know. I kind of like Killian. He's doing better than he was. He's making an effort to try to be less of a fuckhead. And, you know, that's not too bad. Yeah. Okay, now shoo. Do I have to talk to Lawrence? I don't wanna. But I think I gotta. Oh no. We gotta get his affection for us up, and that means a good drink. Would he like a drama queen? Maybe. Let's give it a try. This drink is audaciously good. I see how you make a living off of these. Ah! Hell yeah. Fuck you though. Dang it. Okay. Fucking, so the line's supposed to be your swan song? Indeed, it was a wonderful play about tragedy and melancholy, a tour de force through the history of Saran society, with Olivia Carmine and Stavros Stone back where they should be, top billing. Both Olivia and Stavros were the stars of my first play, Crossing. In some ways, Alliance was the second part of that story, though not linked by plot or character. The two plays were thematic siblings. In a sense, Alliance closed the loop that began with Crossing. What are your plays about? Life and death and everything in between, though I don't write the stories. The Alliance was written by Gail de Winter. But though the script is important, it is the director and the producer who bring the words to life and create the magic. You can think of the script as the rails we ride on. Meanwhile, as producer and director, I both construct the locomotive and pilot it to where it needs to go. It's quite the metaphor. Yes, well, I'm glad to help you peek behind the curtain and explain how the magic is made. Yes, now, tell me who the fuck Gail de Winter is. Ah, very well. You've been a most gracious host, even enough to be given the trust from the patriarch of the Sullivan family, I would say. Lawrence looks around to check nobody is eavesdropping. He leans in closer and whispers, "Would you believe me if I said, Effia DeVos?" Who appeared to be an unassuming stagehand at the Maverick during the performance of Alliance, is none other than Gail de Winter. So the girl you blacklisted and were a complete and utter fuck to. Wow. Dang, really? After she performed in Crossing, she abandoned her acting career to pursue her writing. Yeah, she totally did that by choice. And good for her, it suits her much better. She must have been guided by the light of the goddess herself, because she has a talent as a writer she never possessed as an actor. Providence guided her onto this new path to success. It took a few pen names before she finally found one that stuck. You know the old Bikovi saying, sometimes you change so much that your old name doesn't fit you anymore. In the end, Gail de Winter was the name that fit her best. Gail de Winter has become the writer of my dreams on Alliance. What wondrous ideas she has come up with, putting the actors through so much drama and peril. She really put them through the ringer. But hush, hush, my friend, you're in the know now. And let me be clear, if this information comes out, I'll know it was you who leaked it. My lips are sealed. Our lips are sealed. So Effia is the mysterious writer. Okay. Dang it, too bad she's left already for the day. Oops. I didn't mean to present that. Oh, I do hope you're not spreading this rumor like wildfire, my friend. Tell me my confidence in you was not misplaced. Okay, let's ask about Olivia being a prop fiend. Oh, is that why? I always assumed making multiple copies was just busy work for them, and a rather frivolous use of our budget, too, but I didn't question it. Reese always was a rather odd duck, after all. Or perhaps a bat would be a more apt comparison. Okay. Fascinating. You know, I don't think I need to talk to Hugo or Elena. I'm gonna be so for real. I feel like they're just kind of there if I need help to kind of nudge me in a certain direction, which maybe I do need sometimes. Let's see. If you're the writer? No. Oh. Scripted demise. Effia specifically created scenes in Alliance where the characters played by Olivia and Stavros die. Could she have orchestrated these events to allow her to commit murder? That... I think it depends on what was picked first. Either the script or the cast. Which, if the cast was picked first, then sure. But if she had no idea that Stavros was even going to be attached to the thing, then that theory kind of goes out the window, I feel like. Oh! Olivia had been known to carelessly bring theater props home with her. Did she smuggle a prop dagger home with her so she could sabotage it? No. No. No, 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 no. I'm just trying to make wild connections here. New prospects with this pretense. I feel like maybe new prospects would be a defense, maybe? Like, since they already were trying to get out of the theater business and into something before this even happened. I don't know, that feels kind of flimsy, maybe. There's a fight. No. No. Oh. Olivia has taken prop daggers home with her before. Could she have modified it to use in self-defense when facing Stavros, hurting him before he could hurt her? Ooh. So, that's... Getting some more stuff on other people. Still don't have Reese's motive, though. Okay. See, Again, I fully admit I could be wrong. I don't think it's any of these three, though. I really feel like it was Stavros who sabotaged the dagger. But we're kind of... He's not officially a suspect, so I feel like there's only so far we can go with that for now. Maybe we need to get everybody else's defenses first, and then just be like, hey, we are literally out of leads. Maybe let's pursue this angle. I don't know. Peter's really not gonna show up for this case, huh? Oh, that makes me so sad. Olivia! I have so much I need to talk to you about. Evening, Olivia. What a sanctuary this is. The media circus has been exhausting. I'm so glad to relax here with a drink. What kind of drink do you like, Miss Carmine? It seems my usual favorite's off the menu this time around. What a bother. Let me have another look then. Oh, bartender, you shouldn't have. What do you mean? I am honored you named a drink after me. I'll have that one if you don't mind. Right, that was definitely intentional. Drama queen? Or femme fatale? Oh no. Let's try. We had the femme fatale on the menu before. The drama queen is the new one. Let's maybe try that. Perfection! This was surely mixed by the goddess herself. No, me. Okay, well, oh gosh, we have 4 actions and so much we need to talk about. Let's ask her if she's okay. Why, yes, darling. Of course it was upsetting, but I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, and really all I've got is just to stay pissed off. Anyway, you don't get to where I am in life without seeing a drop of blood spilled here or there. You literally killed somebody by accident. That wasn't a drop of blood, Olivia. No, it wasn't. But what do they expect me to do? What do you expect me to do? I stabbed a man on stage. Do you begrudge me a drink? Do people think I should don black and abandon my career, friends, my life? Olivia shudders. Her eyes are glassy, but with a steady breath she smiles. It's a smile she has likely worn like armor all her life. It was not Olivia. Sometimes we see things we think are beyond what we can bear. We think there is a limit to the horrors we can endure. But darling, if life has taught me one thing, it is this. We endure. I don't want to think about what happened to Stavros. I've not yet begun to accept this loss. But accept it I shall, in time. I will move on. I will endure. But until then, let me drink and dance and share time with friends and friendly strangers. Tears can wait. They're going nowhere, and neither am I. Oh, I love her. Dang. Oh. Well, let's see. Let's ask her about the veiled threats. I have questions. Well, Effie must have misheard. I'm sure we were simply doing some impromptu line reads or some such. I don't remember that in the script. Must you really pull at every loose thread? Fine. Yes, I suppose he may have said something along those lines. Honestly, he said rather a lot of ghastly things. He was often in a mood, and he never passed up the chance to make it someone else's problem. Usually mine. Happy now? Don't think I enjoy speaking ill of the dead. Stavros had his problems, I'm sure, but being irritable doesn't mean he deserved to die. Hey girl, I heard you a prop fiend. Oh, I just knew they'd bring that up. Honestly, the ego on that one. Always giving me attitude with hundreds of pages of script to memorize and multiple costume changes to pull off mid-performance. Do they not think I have more important things to be worrying about than their little trinkets? The little trinkets are kind of important in the show. And as long as there is a prop in my hand when the scene starts and it finds its way back to the prop table sometime after it ends, that's what matters, isn't it? I don't think they see it that way. Okay. Oh! Yeah, let's ask her about Stavros coming onto Effia. Yeah. Effia tried to murder Stavros? Darling, what are you on about? Doesn't it make sense? Perhaps if you know nothing of the people involved, you might think this mad theory holds water. But as someone who considers herself to be very close to Effia despite her sometimes cold attitude, I am offended on her behalf. I won't deny Effia held a grudge against Stavros during the production of Crossing. His unwanted advances ground down her patience and goodwill and made her feel uncomfortable, unsafe even. She made the right choice and turned to the one person that could protect her. You? Lawrence sure didn't. Precisely. Ooh. It must not have been easy. I think she was afraid I'd see her as the reason our relationship failed, not Stavros. Effia slipped an anonymous letter with all the details underneath my door while I was having my makeup done. It was quite tactful of her to try and inform me in such a fashion, but I'm afraid I've seen her elaborate handwriting far too often. Ooh. I broke things off with Stavros, informed my producer I was no longer comfortable working with him, and decided to move on with my life. Sad to say, there was little I could do for Effia to repay her at the time. She had already moved on to her career as a writer by the time I could get rid of Lawrence. Oh, that's Effia's defense! Still, I'll gladly pay that debt today by telling you that Effia would never plan any elaborate plot for revenge if it might threaten my safety too. It's a bleak world out there when it comes to troublesome men, and she and I will always keep an eye out for each other, even if we don't do so openly. You're lucky to have each other. Oh, that's fantastic. Not for Reese, because I still don't think Olivia did it, but I still don't think Reese did it either. Well, we got some conversations to listen in on. Elena, you look like you're chewing a bee. Out with it. What's on your mind? You should not be taking this case on by yourself, Hugo. I know it, the constabulary knows it, and I think deep down, even you know it. Nonsense. I am more than capable, as my record can attest. I don't think you'd want anyone eyeing that record too closely, Detective. I'm a proud member of the Bukovi police force, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. I've solved plenty of crimes more heinous than this, and my record includes over 15 arrests of murderers and serial killers. Were many of those in Bukovi? No one is questioning your record when you were back in Belgia. I became a detective, and that promotion was not achieved by making friends or favoritism. Believe me. I do. But Hugo, even your fellow officers have partners. I know you found it difficult here in Sara. The difficulties come from many sources, not least the interference of high-profile board meddlers who think she still has what it takes to investigate at the highest level despite her retirement. You go too far, Detective Mertens. I'm a civilian, a private investigator, and a former member of the Constabulary. I deserve a little more respect. Yes, you do. I take that back. But why do you aggravate me so? You know there is no one on the force I care to work with, and the feeling is mutual. Where do I turn? Why not enlist a civilian again? Someone smart, savvy, and maybe someone a little better with people. You could focus on the deduction. You've done it before. The bartender? I noticed you were quick to swoop in and recruit my informant, but no, this one I must handle alone. I can't go begging for a civilian every time I need help, and neither should you. They don't have the same protections we do. Nonsense! It takes a strong man to admit he needs help, Hugo. A weak man flounders in silence until he sinks. I will choose to construe your words as concern rather than critique. Good, that's what I intend. Still, I must stand on my own 2 feet, and you should keep your nose out of this too, Mrs. Ernest. Enjoy your drink and leave the police work to the police. I ship them. Although, what happened to Hugo's fiancé? That was mentioned like all the way back in case 1, and we haven't heard any mention of that since. Ah, well. You look smart today. Did you go home and change after work? I obviously can hardly come to your fancy speakeasy in my overalls covered in oil and dirt. I'd be a right scene in here. I didn't know you wore overalls. What color? White. What did you think I wore? A smart 3-piece suit like you wear in the bank? I've just never seen any overalls in your apartment. I put them in the laundry and have a bath as soon as I get home. I think I'd like to see you in your pristine white overalls. Would ye, eh? They don't stay clean for long. I thought you liked me in this new shirt you got me. Bjorn, I don't care what you wear as long as you're happy, though a man in a uniform is always a fine thing to see. Ooh. Well then. Indeed. Overalls aren't a uniform. I think anything we wear to work is a uniform. You are a funny fellow. You'll make a woman a fine husband one day? What? Bro, what? I hate it when you say that. But I love teasing you, so you'll have to learn to live with it. And me. Perhaps, but let me see you in those overalls sometime, okay? Fine, you could do my laundry on Thursday night and see me in them Friday morning. Deal. I love them. Oh my gosh. Okay. We got some people to talk to. Killian, let's get you out of the way. Anything we need to talk to you about? No, I don't even want to give you a drink. I'm gonna be so for real. Bye. Let's talk to Lawrence. Hey. So... We finally found his favorite drink. Shares it with Olivia. I guess that's not too surprising. Theater people. I say that as if I was not also one. Yes. Let's see. I don't want to ask him about his other plays. Tell me about your other plays. Oh, must I? I really feel Alliance is my defining work. Everything else has been a stepping stone, including The Step. What was The Step about? It was originally a Bildungsroman about a young man whose genius was curtailed by an overbearing wife. It wasn't well reviewed, but needs must. It opened the doors for better projects during the middle period slump of my career, and I think the critics often talking out of their, well, you know. Anything else? Oh, I've directed 100 plays and produced more. Give me a subject and I'll tell you about a play I've worked on. Small orange beavers called Bertie. Ah, yes, it was called Damn Good Times. It was a musical with elaborate sets and some ostentatious costumes. Really? No, I am playing along, riffing as thespians say, but I enjoy your japery. I've had a long career, but I'm optimistic. I still believe my best work is ahead of me. Sure it is. Ooh, maybe we could ask about this. Stavros hasn't worked in the theater industry in all in the decade since The Crossing could indicate that he was blacklisted. Yes, poor chap. Of course, I was questioned on my decision to bring him back from obscurity. Lucky for me, he was still as talented as ever. So was he really blacklisted? Oh yes, the practice is rather common. It's good form to look out for your peers in the industry. People like us shouldn't be burdened with the nitty-gritty of running background checks of every starlet that shows up to audition. Our time is more valuable than that. If someone has proven to be ill-tempered and hard to work with, warning your colleagues is a common courtesy. So why was Stavros blacklisted? Unless you're planning on casting him posthumously in your next production, I don't see how that's any concern of yours. Let's ask about the anonymous tip, maybe. An anonymous letter? Why are we, the people of the stage, always so whimsical and dramatic about everything in our lives? I always wondered how Olivia knew. Did you? I knew the man's eye was given to wander from time to time, sure. Can you blame him, really? A handsome, red-blooded young buck surrounded by beautiful starlets with angelic voices on stage every night? I think he's scum, but I don't want to fuck up my relationship. I understand completely. I thought you would. We all have our faults after all. Better a skirt chaser than a gambler or a drunkard, I think. Fiddle. Well, hey Reese. How you doing? Okay, let's see. What new clues do we have? Maybe, did you know anything about Stavros being blacklisted? Certainly, it happens all the time. A small cadre of mostly men hold the purse strings in this industry. A soured reputation with one of them can ensure you never work in this town again. Do you think it could have happened to Stavros? How would I know? I didn't keep up with him outside of his work on Alliance, nor inside of it, frankly. I'm never sure what kind of topics to discuss. Okay. Ooh, what about Olivia's sabotage? Because Reese, they said that Stavros could have potentially fucked with the dagger. Did she smuggle it back to her so she could sabotage it? Olivia took the dagger home to sabotage it? That's a very imaginative story. Or perhaps the dagger obtained self-awareness and flew away? That seems just as likely. You don't think it's possible? I'm not the president of Olivia's fan club, but I do not consider her capable of such a macabre act. Cold-blooded murder on stage in front of hundreds is beyond her. So my answer is this. No. No, I do not think she sabotaged the blade. As well as lacking the temperament for such an act, she lacks the skill, too. This is true. Reese specifically said it would take someone with metalworking knowledge in order to sabotage the dagger. While I may not have always enjoyed working with her, these sorts of accusations are one I'd gladly testify against. Oh no! Olivia, you hella dumb. But that's your defense. Not just for her sake, but also to protect the craft of prop masters around the world. I refuse to let the public believe any spoiled diva could recreate our trade. I understand. So that just leaves Reese, really, at least thus far, as the only person still on the suspect list. We don't have a motive, though, or a defense. I'm not really sure if there's anything else we can talk to them about. No one told me that Stavros had worked with him as a metalworker before giving them opportunity to stage. Maybe we'll ask about that. Really? I knew he came from humbler beginnings than his co-star, like most people in this world, I suppose. But I wouldn't have pictured him in that line of work. I find it hard to imagine a man like Stavros breaking his back with manual labor. He didn't really have the physique of a man hammering sheet metal all day. He worked on smaller, more delicate pieces, mostly. I see. In that case, he likely possessed the same metalworking skills I do. That's what I'm saying! Interesting! Well, you mentioned a society. A secret society, so why should I say more? You brought it up. Well, I suppose I can say a little more. If you care to. The Ravenborn Society is comprised of Reese Kinnard, my cousin Louise, and my childhood friend Sebastian Obsidian Noir. That was not his birth name. Sounds very interesting. I thank you for the compliment. We are a peculiar bunch, but I would not have it any other way. Together we celebrate the macabre, the sinister, the eldritch, and the supernatural. We are enthusiasts, but also investigators. The Ravenborn Society is just as interested in reality as fiction. If a tale is terrifying, mysterious, spine-chilling, or challenges our view of mundane reality, we embrace it. And whether that story is from creative minds of a novelist or a poet, or ripped from the headlines of a newspaper, we revel in it. So you're more than a book club. Ooh. We are explorers of the imagination, investigators of the supernatural, and trailblazers of the outer reaches of reality where magic and science intersect. We meet Tuesdays and Fridays, and there's always fruitcake and tea. Ah, maybe one day I could join you. The waiting list for entry to the society is long, but I will add your name to the end. We plan to one day have a radio show where we discuss horrific novels, poems, and shows. I will keep you appraised of our progress on that front. All right, Reese. I bet the waiting list is a mile long, huh? I don't know if there's anything else I need to talk to people here about today. Maybe just go to the next day? I feel like there's some connections on the corkboard that I'm missing, but I don't know what. Clearly, or I would have found them already. I also don't know if there's a way to get Stavros on the suspect list. Because it feels like he's supposed to be the one that takes the 4th slot. Because we always have 4 suspects. But in this case, we only have 3. Currently just 1. And again, I don't think Reese did it. So maybe, like I said earlier, maybe we just need to find Reese's defense first? Oh, yeah, that kind of debunks this. The, whatever it was. The, oh yeah, this one right here. Ooh. The sabotage dagger was already put in place before the performance and would have fatally injured Olivia during the opening number had she not used a spare prop carelessly left in her costume. Was Olivia, not Stavros, the intended victim all along? That's what I'm saying! So then... Ooh, what about, not sabotage, Ooh, how about this? No, damn it! I feel like I'm onto something here. Oh! Wait. Fucking... Oh! Since the prop was already on... Oh, open the sabotage before the performance started, Stavros himself should also be considered a suspect. Elena will want to know about this. There we go. There we fucking go. I knew it. I called it. Dang it. I'm trying really hard to find a defense for Reese. I don't know what it could be, though. Peter is still not here, and I am sad. Oh, hey, Effia. Hey. So, I got something to ask you about. Who told you that? I did some research. Good for you, little mole, digging up the truth. Though it's a secret, there's plenty of those in Bukovi. I've written under numerous pseudonyms over the years. Stark Poiser, Ben Greebles, Thomas Box. But none of my forays across genre have been as successful as playwright Gail de Winter. Why keep it secret? Why do you think? There are at least 10 obvious reasons. Do you enjoy it? Writing plays? Yes, and I'm good at it. To see my new play, Deliance, performed at the Maverick Opera House is a dream come true for me. I grew up in that place. My father worked there his whole life to make my parents proud and to show all those people who tried to make me feel invisible. That is a vindication for me. A victory lap at the end of an already successful career. So yes, I'm Effia, failed actress, but I'm also Gail de Winter, successful playwright, and I'm damn proud to be both. Okay. Oh shit, I need to get you a drink. Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna run out of fucking actions, and that would be bad. I want to ask her about... What do I want to ask her about? Does she know anything about Stavros being blacklisted? The man's body is barely cold, bartender. I'm not going to gossip with you about his reputation. I notice you carry a notebook around. Just some story ideas. It's a nice little hobby, and it helps distract me from all the bad news recently. I enjoy it, but I'm still deciding what kind of writer I want to be. What kinds are there? I try writing novels, news articles, and even scripts for those new radio shows, and, well, I write a bit of everything. But even across different mediums, I still find there are 2 styles of writing and 2 kinds of writer, no more. Please go on. Teased you enough, have I? Well, that's part of being a storyteller, too. You have to build drama, suspense, draw your reader into your world. And? Alright, here it is. The 2 types of writers are skiers and climbers. Uh-huh. Skiers and climbers. I'll tell you a story about each, then maybe you can guess which kind of writer I am, or you are if you're a storyteller, too. Ooh. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. We're all storytellers. But that's a subject for another discussion. So let's talk about skiers and climbers. Oh god, okay, fine. So imagine you're skiing downhill. Oh, skiers! So imagine you're skiing downhill really fast. You can't stop. and you can't see too far ahead. While you can make turns, avoid obstacles, you can react. You're in control of where you go, but you don't control the mountain. That's one style of riding. You don't plan where you're going to end up, and you don't even know what's over the next crest. You just know the direction you're headed, and you make choices as you go that help you get to the base camp. And climbers? Climbers are always looking up at the summit. They plan their route, and step by step, they work their way around it. Sure, sometimes they have to glance down at their feet to get through a tricky bit. In fact, looking down instead of up can make the journey seem less arduous. But still, climbers keep their eye on the route ahead, plan the steps along the way, and finish exactly where they plan to finish. No surprises, or not many, just a plan and a lot of hard work. Okay, I think I get it. When you're riding, you're either winging it or planning ahead. You figure out the whole story in advance, or you let the story find itself. I agree. You do. Most people push back on that. I mean, there are shades of gray in there, but still, I've never met a rider who wasn't either a skier or a climber. I keep saying skier, skier or a climber. So which am I? Which do you think? Take your time. I think you know the answer already. You are a skier. Interesting. How did you come to that answer? This whole time it felt like your speech was ad-libbed. It did. And did you like that about my speech? It felt natural and it flowed. I agree, and thank you. So you were right. I'm a skier through and through. I love to see where the story takes me. That's how I write, and that's how I like my life to be. My career, my life, has been all about twists and turns. Nothing ever went quite to plan, but as long as I keep making choices, choosing a path, I'll get to where I need to be. And not knowing where I'll end up, well, I think that's the most exciting kind of story. I hope your story has just as many twists and turns. In fact, I'm sure it will. Well, maybe I'll come back and talk to her at some point. I don't know. We need to talk to Elena about suspect number 4. Yes. Let's see. Suspect number 4. By the goddess, how the tables have turned. Stavros could have been the one to plant the weapon all along. It'd certainly add a touch of dramatic irony to this whole affair. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll first need some proof that Stavros was even capable of tampering with the weapon. Actors are usually happy to leave such matters to the prop master after all. Try to find out exactly what was done to the weapon and whether Stavros might have had any skills we didn't yet know about. But I do know that. I do. Is some of this going to turn into... Is this like the toolsmith thing here going to turn into evidence against him, perhaps? Ooh, yeah, let's ask her about this too. You really are a sharp one. It seems I made the right choice putting my faith in your powers of deduction. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this changes everything. If Olivia was the intended victim, we're looking for a very different motive. Anyone who has a strong dislike of her is now suspicious. Well, I'll keep an eye out. Lucky for Miss Carmine, whoever wanted to kill her underestimated her dumb luck, and now an innocent man is dead. That is, if we can still assume Stavros was an innocent man. What a mess! All of our puzzle pieces tossed on the floor. Sorry, Elena. Oh, no. This is exactly the kind of excitement I live for, dear. You don't get a breakthrough like this very often. Learn to savor it. Olivia? Hey, girl, hey. Let's get you a drink. I heard you and Stavros were an item. The history of Stavros and Olivia, a tale as old as time. Must you bore me so with these very unglamorous questions? The tabloid paparazzi already pesters me at every turn. Still, I suppose, though we are less than friends, we are more than mere acquaintances. Who knows? Perhaps talking will make me feel better. It works for my listeners. Yes, Stavros and I became intimate as our professional careers progressed. Okay, sidebar, what do you mean less than friends? Girl. Ooh. I was absolutely enamored with him, and who wouldn't be? He was charming, erudite, and treated me like I was a goddess. I envisioned a bright future for Olivia and Stavros. All that changed when an anonymous letter was slipped under my dressing room door. At first I believed Stavros had perhaps sent me a love letter or a poem, but the handwriting was too elegant, and when I read it I realized what he was doing behind my back. To put it bluntly, he had been pursuing another woman during the entirety of our relationship. Naturally, I confronted him and he made no effort to deny any of it. Can you believe that? Can you believe anyone saying Olivia Carmine is not enough woman for them? I confided in the producer that I was no longer comfortable working alongside Stavros, and that was the end of it. Hold up. What if Stavros blamed Olivia for being blacklisted? Oh, I know it's easy to imagine something more dramatic and grandiose as a reason for our breakup, but despite all this glamour, we're just people with eyes that wander and hearts that break. Ooh. Do I need to ask her about any clues? Maybe this one? Possibly. What? Tell me this is your idea of a joke, bartender, because I don't find it very funny at all. I'm afraid it isn't. How awful! Are you really certain? Why would anyone have wanted to harm me? Me! I have never done anything wrong. Well, I suppose there's Carl Malmsteen, the opinion columnist from that rag Theatre Quarterly, and Irina Cornell, but she only has herself to blame for messing about with that little paparazzo, not me for bringing it up on the show. How was I to know that her husband was a regular listener anyway? At least he has taste. The goddess herself really was looking out for me. And is it any wonder, really? Before her ascent, she was burned as a martyr, too. She must know exactly what I'm going through. Us girls have to look out for one another. I'm sure she does. Oh, in the conversation, yeah. Lawrence, do I want to talk to you? I don't know if I want to talk to you. Oh, fine. I'll get you a drink, I suppose. Maybe ask him about this as well. Olivia was the true target of this vile scheme? Goddess, and here I thought this awful situation could not get any worse. But why would anyone want to target someone like Olivia Carmine? Surely she didn't have any enemies. Remains to be seen. I think I have more connections I need to make. I think I have not spent enough time at the corkboard. And I really feel like if we're adding Stavros, yep, Stavros is now officially on the suspect list. I really feel like maybe something like he is bitter about being blacklisted, maybe? Olivia was enamored with Stavros until she received an anonymous letter telling her that he had been hitting on another woman. The couple broke up and she disclosed what Stavros had done to reduce her in hopes of no longer having to work with him. Ooh. Stavros was blacklisted after Olivia shared the truth of his unfaithfulness, bringing his once promising career to a premature end. If Stavros knew that Olivia had been responsible, it may have been a motive for murder. Did someone tell him? I think that's gotta be the next thing we question people about. Nope. Nope. Ooh. Did Stavros sabotage the prop dagger intending for Olivia to take her own life in the opera's opening number? Olivia's careless use of a backup prop saved her life and sealed Stavros' fate, dying by his own weapon. Oh, man. I really had this shit pegged from the beginning. I need to drink more regularly. Normally, alcohol does not make me hell smart. But this time, it definitely did. Ooh. Was Reese aiming to kill Olivia, a perpetual thorn in their side, out of revenge for getting them fired? See, I don't think so. Again, I really, really don't think so. I think... Hold up. Then can I do, like, that, maybe? No. But Reese said they wanted to... They were already thinking about getting out of theater. Ugh. I'm missing something for Reese's defense. We're going into day 9. We have time. It's getting into the second half, and definitely I think this is the longest we've taken to solve a case, that's for sure. So, I don't want to dilly-dally too much. Let's see. What new clues do we have that we can bring up? So let's see. We can ask about Stavros being blacklisted. She's aiming to kill Olivia for being a perpetual thorn in their side. We could maybe ask Reese about that, possibly. Hey, Reese. How you doing? Let's get you a drink. Hey, so, quick question. Reese, did you, try to kill Olivia, maybe? Oh! Fuck. Maybe that was a bad thing to do. Of course not. That's ridiculous. Could you elaborate? No. Wow, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. I'm trying to explore all leads. Shit. What about, maybe that? What do you think? Olivia's life was spared by the grace of her own perpetual negligence. These things truly are sent to try us. Please ensure she never finds out about this. It would only encourage her. Oops. Do you believe she could have been the intended victim? With relative ease, I must admit, the list of people she's irritated or offended over the years probably rivals the length of that infernal screenplay. Oof. I still think I'm onto something with Stavros. I think it was Stavros because he was upset that Olivia broke up with him and then got him blacklisted. I feel like, especially, did someone tell him? Lawrence is not here. I would like to ask Lawrence about this. Maybe let's ask Olivia if she told him or knew of someone that told him. It was me, but I didn't mean for that to happen. I merely didn't want to work with him again, not so soon after anyway. I could barely stomach looking him in the eye after what he did. Performing romantic duets as if nothing had changed between us would be unbearable. I was a girl in love, but then every time I saw his face, I felt nothing but anger and humiliation. I simply couldn't stomach it, so I told my producer, hoping that would be the end of it. I had no idea it had gone so far. Do you think he knew it was you? I couldn't say. He was always in a mood, of course, and we had our fights, but, well, it was what I expected. That's a bit sad. Oh, wait, I need to get you a drink. I keep doing that. I keep getting so urgent to talk to people. I keep forgetting to get them their drinks, so they'll actually, like, stick around and chat with me. Oopsie poopsie. Oh, perfection. Yes, yes. Oh, look at that! We're approaching maximum affection with Olivia! That's cool. Alright, suspect number 4. Did we... I don't think we talked to Olivia about this, did we? Maybe. You believe Stavros may have been a suspect in his own murder? Isn't that a little far-fetched? The culprit wanted to harm you, not Stavros. Or his death was an accident, the weapon being planted wasn't. Yeah, let's go with that one. I suppose so, but this is still Stavros we're talking about. Was he even capable of such a thing? Physically, I mean? I'm sure the man had his talents. He was at least a passable co-star, but I can't imagine prop making was one of them. What about suicide by proxy? Maybe? You really believe Stavros wanted to kill me? Wouldn't that be an interesting twist to this tragic tale? Olivia maintains her usual smile with practiced ease, but the sudden paleness of her face makes it strangely hollow. For the first time since her return to the nightcap, she looks tired. Yes, after all the tears I shed trying to scrub his blood from underneath my fingernails, it would certainly be ironic, wouldn't it? A bitter end for a bitter man. I wish I could tell you whether this makes me feel better or worse about what happened. I don't even know anymore. I suppose I just feel relieved. Ooh, girl. Okay, we got one action left. I'm not gonna say she's a ditz. Let me think. What is this ridiculous flim-flam about Reese trying to kill me? Just a theory. Again, theory. Yes, and what I'll gladly debunk right here and now. While Reese and I have our differences, we are not amateurs. Word travels fast in the world of theater, and the moment I learned that Lawrence decided to let Reese go, I immediately reached out to them and offered to talk to Lawrence on their behalf. I have... what? I have my pride, but I am not blind to the merit of those I work with. Reese is an exceptionally talented individual, and Lawrence's decision was, in my eyes, the wrong one. We got Reese's defense! We have everybody's defense except for Stavros. Oh my god, Olivia's really coming through. No wonder she spent several days out of here. Reese was, as always, professional and detached. They revealed they already had job offers in waiting, and they had already decided to leave Lawrence's production. We buried the hatchet and vowed to part as colleagues, wishing each other well. Anyone suggesting Reese is involved, all of this will have me to answer to. I suggest you consider this line of reasoning to be a dead end and move on with more plausible theories. Noted. Oh, I really wish Lawrence was here. Fuck. It's Stavros. It is Stavros. We just need his motive. Let's go ahead and end the day. We're right there. We are right there. Anything on the clue board? Perhaps? No. No. Dang it. Bro. Where is your motive? Okay. Well, okay, let's just... maybe we'll ask Lawrence about the blacklisted thing. And Peter's really not coming. Oh, so sad. Man. Hey, Lawrence. Yeah, you need a drink. Yeah, sure. Let me get you the thing. This drink. Okay. Good talk. Okay. That. Stavros blacklisted from the industry? Yes, the situation is well known among my colleagues. Why do you ask? Did he know it was Olivia who was responsible? For the blacklisting, I thought he did, but as I was talking to him while casting Alliance, it became clear he still wasn't certain who was to blame. After 10 long years, one would assume any misplaced grudge would have burned cool long ago. I can't imagine he cares after all this time. You told him. Of course! Imagine being kept in the dark for all that time. Best we get all grievances out in the open so we can focus on what really matters. Alliance, bro! Why would anyone care about such petty rivalries when our magnum opus is so close at hand? In a way, it is good he knew the truth before he passed on. I think these things are better aired out instead of being left to fester. I don't believe in secrets. Thanks. You dumb motherfucker. Goddamn. Okay. That's a full form. Let's go on. Let's submit this bitch. Elena. I think we'd best present our case before the police decide to submit one themselves. Let's hear your theory. Here's what I found. Who do you believe is responsible for the death of Stavros Stone? Stavros Stone. So Stavros himself is to blame. Well, I look forward to your explanation of this, bartender. It would certainly be quite a twist. Was the prop dagger switched? If so, how? Stavros sabotaged the knife to kill Olivia. You suspect Stavros sabotaged the dagger to trick Olivia into taking her own life. But of course, Olivia's careless use of a backup prop saved her own life and sealed Stavros' fate. He died by his own dagger. Now why would Stavros want to murder Olivia Carmine? Lawrence revealed Olivia's role in Stavros' blacklisting. So when first casting Alliance, Lawrence carelessly told Stavros that Olivia had been behind his blacklisting all along. Lawrence must have hoped that any messy history between them would be water under the bridge. He was wrong. Stavros still wanted revenge. Take a breath. Are you sure about all of this? Once I submit this report to Hugo to present to the Judicar, things will be set in motion that cannot be undone. I'm confident, yes. All right, you have my seal of approval. Now you should have a talk with Hugo. Let's put our best foot forward and hope we have made the right choice. Hey, my guy. Underneath the counter, you clutch the case file you prepared with Elena's help. As Hugo finally manages to lift his head, his eyes meet yours. Once he sits down at the bar, he absent-mindedly stares down at the wooden counter. Upon placing the documents in front of him, he finally seems to snap out of his trance. Huh? What's this supposed to be? Just have a look. Hugo's dejection lifts a little as he thumbs through the file. For the first time in weeks, he seems to unclench his jaw and sit up straight. This is... He's in a good mood. This is very helpful. I have not been fair with you, bartender. I'm not sure I deserve this help. Or your generosity, for that matter. It's okay, Hugo. Thank you. I was stubborn, I was foolish, and I was truly arrogant in thinking I could handle this without your help. You owe me one. I owe you a debt of gratitude, bartender. And I've been thinking as well. I know my own strengths as a detective. I can analyze evidence, make deductions, dissect the minds of criminals. But people are a challenge. Talking to others is a skill I've never really possessed or valued as much as I should have. A skill that people like you possess in spades. I see that now. Perhaps I dismissed you too hastily after our first case together. There are 2 more cases after this. I have the power to deputize citizens to appoint someone as my partner. Perhaps I should exercise that power with you. With your permission, I'll take these findings to my superiors. From the looks of it, these notes are more promising than anything I've found so far. Let's hope something comes of this. Let's hope so indeed. Hugo gets up from his stool, tightly clutching the case file. He strides to the door with newfound vigor. With haste in his step, Hugo exits the bar. Good luck, detective. Oh boy. Well, this is awkward now. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and end the day. I really wish Peter would have shown up at some point. It's okay. We can't always get what we want. Just like last time, Detective Merton's body language and expression are hard to read as he approaches the counter. Upon sitting down, however, you manage to get a better look. A sheepish smile and a little laugh. Not what you expect from Hugo. He places his hands on the counter and takes a breath and lets out a contented sigh. Stavros Stone planted the dagger, hoping that Olivia Carmine would fatally injure herself, but a series of unplanned events caused his plan to backfire, causing his own death. And you actually managed to find enough evidence to make a convincing— Oh my god! Enough evidence to make a convincing case out of this bizarre turn of events. All I can say is this. Well done, bartender. I truly could not have made those deductions myself. Your mind is sharp and your insight has been invaluable. I could learn much from this case, and from you. It's not just your people skills I admire, bartender. Learn my name. It's your unique approach, your deductions, your determination. I'm used to working alone, but I'd be a fool to deny that I'm more effective with you at my side. It would be my honor to have you as my partner, if you'd consider it. I wonder if he's a romance option. We still don't know if he still has his fiancée around. It seems like his life is kind of in the gutter, so maybe she did split after a bit. Hugo smiles as he reaches out and shakes your hand. This whole debacle has taught me 2 things. I must work harder and continue to learn as an officer of the Bukovi Constabulary, and I hate the opera. Okay. Just don't ever go to the theater, my guy. Oh. Heck yeah. Stavros Stone, attempted murderer, becomes victim. Botched murder attempt on Olivia Carmine, kills opera star. Who killed Stavros Stone? Stavros Stone. Wow, what a silly motherfucker. What was their motive? Stavros's motive. And what proved them guilty? Suicide by proxy. Okay. Hey, we found all the clues. And our highest affection was with Lawrence! God damn it. Oh. Gross. I hate that. I hate that. I hate all of that.